What's going on, guys? So I'm going to be adding the members to the cast. I can't remember your emails, Rambo. So if you can, message that to me on Twitter. Yeah, so we're here on this lovely craptastic Google Hangouts again. Unfortunately, like I said, it's definitely not for any quality purpose, but stability. So welcome to episode 96. We're coming up on the eve of the brand new channel launch, and I'm actually pretty excited for it. Brand new podcast channel dedicated just for this. I will be uploading more content on this channel independently, so it'll be my content, but you guys will have a dedicated channel for everything that goes on there. So, and I'll have super chat enabled. I'll have everything enabled that everybody's wanted me to enable. And hopefully Rags will return. So Rags will be coming back, especially after, because I got promoted recently, so I'll be working a lot of earlier hours, and I'm not going to have time to be on here late at night again. So my hours are being flipped. So I do apologize for any inconvenience for those of you that are across the world and you guys are here all the time, because it's like early morning for you and stuff, and it's perfect for you. But this is probably going to be more of a convenience for a lot of my fellow countrymen, because a lot of these guys here, they watch us in the United States. It's usually pretty late for them, and they have to go to work too. So, I mean, it's going to be a swap. So, I mean, you're going to be seeing a lot more podcasts earlier in the day. You're going to be seeing them at like anywhere from 4 to 5 p.m. Sometimes it'll be as early as even 5 or 6 a.m. You don't know, but it's a possibility. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, to the nice change. You know what I mean? It's going to be a better job, more money. I'm no longer going to be at the desk anymore, so I am looking forward to it. It really am. But it's just, man, like I'm gonna have to become a morning person again, and the process of doing that, if you guys know what I'm talking about, going from constantly closing every single day to early morning shift, holy crap, man, it is gonna be one hell of a change for me. So I'm definitely, like I said, looking forward to it. Rambo, like I said, I am looking for your email, sir. So if you would be so kind to drop it in the Twitter DMs. In fact, I'll just go ahead and bump the conversation to get you guys going. Emails, the both of you. And anybody else that needs or wants in here, please just let me know. Just send me your email through Discord, and I'll be more than happy to send you the invite to come in and join in on the conversation. So a lot of the stuff that's going to be happening, there's going to be a lot of changes. First off, I'm going to be moving a lot of my equipment downstairs. My friend is moving out, so she's going to be freeing up that room. So I'm going to be down there. So no more hearing the background sounds and stuff.
Thank God.
Shut the fuck up. I'm going to be having the entire studio set up down there, so I'm going to have quite literally a man cave again, so I can't wait for that. I'll have all kinds of stuff set up down there. I'm going to be redoing the flooring. I'm going to be redoing all kinds of stuff, so I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Jay Centuries, you want in? I'll send you in. All right. Where's the invite link? Okay, let me look. It's been a while since I've operated this fucking thing. Trust me. I really don't like. I hate Google Hangouts. Like, this is like absolute trash. Trash. We'll see. All right, Jay, here you go, buddy. The only reason why I don't like sending links like this is because people will fuck with it. So, but whatever, I don't care tonight. I'm just tired. Like I said, I got to get up early tomorrow morning, so we're going to do this early tonight. I'm just waiting on these guys to hurry up and get back to me, because I don't know. Well, Shane, I'm sure I could just send it through Discord. Shane, I'm just going to send you your link through Discord, dude, because I know you're gonna you got a house full of kids and stuff, so here you go, buddy. Here, I'll send this to you on Discord. So when you get in, there you go. You just click that and you come in. Budget Barry, I'm sure he's gonna want in eventually. Because he's been kind of he's been actually supporting this podcast a lot too, so you know he's a pretty cool dude. He's fun. We have a good time. We laugh. We have fun. We trash talk each other. There's quite a few new members in the Game Talk server that have come around, and they've been really showing a lot of support to us. So I really do appreciate that. I think.
Hello. Waiting for people to join this video call.
There you are. I'm like, I don't know why. It like switched me out of here for some reason.
It was saying waiting for people to join the video call. I'm sitting there looking like, did I just fuck this shit up? I must have fucked this shit up. That's what I felt like, man. I think you're doing me dirty. Waiting for... What the fuck is going...
Okay, let's try this again. What the hell was that all about? Like, seriously, that is the most lame shit that's ever happened. And anybody who asked me why I hate Google Hangouts, that's why. This is the second time it just dropped me.
This is why I told you motherfuckers to stay with Discord, man, because this shit...
Well, I tried to, but fucking OBS and the whole thing with the internet thing that's been happening lately, like I think they've been throttling my shit. So like it's really hard to get a stable connection for OBS. So
yeah, but it's only gonna get worse for this shit. I mean, fucking Hangouts is worse than Discord, bro. You come on.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying like if Discord had a built-in live streaming thing, that'd be one thing, but they don't.
Well, yeah, I feel you on that, but I mean, the problem I have with fucking Hangouts, man, is it has the same fucking problem, especially when you get multiple people in here. It's just, I just don't like Hangouts, man, for fucking...
Oh, yeah, it sucks. I agree.
For live streaming.
Yeah.
It's like the poor man's live streaming, if you know what I mean, man.
It is. Trust me. I feel dirty being in here. I'm not going to lie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why the fuck you got me in here? I feel like I'm being a slut right now on this shit.
You kind of are anyways, aren't you? Like,
yeah, I know, man. I already have to do this shit when I go to fucking Next Gen's cast, man, and I feel like a slut there too.
It's like, god damn, like this shit doesn't get any more peasantry at all. You know what I mean? Like, this is this is ass. What I'm saying. All right, so I just sent the invitation to Rambo. So I found out what the issue was with that controller issue that I was having the other morning when we were trying to game together. The fucking those Nyko batteries, dude. Like, as soon as they even remotely go close to being dead, they fucking fuck with the live chat for some reason. They actually will.
I bought a pair of Nyko rechargeable batteries from Amazon, and I swear I got them motherfuckers day one. They didn't even work. Charged them up, everything. That was like the second time I bought Nyko. So I bought some from GameStop, and they blew the fuck up after a week.
Yeah.
So like fucking Nyko completely.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah, we hear you, brother.
Last time we had problems with my part, so I want to make sure.
Well, like, it's funny. I sent Jay the fucking invite, and it closed me out. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what?
Even Hangouts knows better than to have Jay in here.
Oh yeah, hey, you know what time it is, man. Angle gravy all day, every day. Okay. That's
so
why
That's
why you be avoiding me on Xbox Live, Rambo.
Man, I've been like busy trying to do a bunch of shit, man. I've been getting fucked over by my damn ISP and.
Yep. I'm gonna log into my account right now to see if they capped me yet, because I'm supposed to be on an unlimited plan, and now that all this stuff's going through, I'm gonna see if they're fucking us over, because my shit's been going in and out all day. So
yeah, that's what like I've been noticing, like mine like my internet will everything will show like it's connected, and everybody will drop in the whole fucking house. And I'm like, what the hell happened? And so I have to reset my internet and everything. I have to like completely go back into my router. And
they need to have like competition. Oh, having one fucking provider in one neighborhood shit is just.
Oh no, I got.
Oh, there's an outage in my area. That's what's going on, huh?
I've got 2 providers in my area, except the other provider is AT&T, and what they offer is at the most at 5 megabits per second.
That's what I'm talking about, though. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, people have 1 to 2 providers, and you're always going to go with the bigger provider because everyone else fucking sucks ass. They need to actually have more competition. Like America has some of the worst internet in the world, man. With some of the shit.
Oh yeah, well I mean,
the worst, but it's some of the worst.
I talked to my internet service provider today because I mean I saw, because I got this letter in the mail. We talked about it a while back, but I got this letter in the mail saying that starting in August they're going to start billing me $50 for every 50 gigabytes over 1 terabyte.
Yeah.
And at the time they were showing like my past history. It was like anywhere from 1.5 terabyte usage to maybe 1.7, 1.8. I was thinking, okay, well, I mean, that's still pretty bad, but I can maybe just get another internet line in my house and be good, because in both that'd be 2 terabytes. And so like today, like my internet just shut completely down, even though it was connected, everything, like it just quit working for everybody. So I went on my bill, and I'm at 3 terabytes, and that's not even for a full month.
No, and that's what I was trying to tell you before. Like my internet, dude, in my house, we go through anywhere from 5 to 6 a month.
Yeah, especially with someone like you, Rambo, that downloads a lot of digital games, you burn through that like it's nothing.
Dude, a terabyte is like a day for me.
But I mean, the thing is, and one of the crazy things is that I asked him, like, because I said, look, I know y'all are getting fucked over by Netflix and PlayStation View and the Stars app and all that shit like that, all these streaming apps. I said, so is this y'all's way of fucking over your customers? And they said, I was like, okay. I was like, so what are you gonna do for me? I was like, the only reason you're doing this is to hold me hostage for me to come back to your little TV plan, so that way I'll cancel my streaming plans. And I said, I'm not doing that. I said, I'd rather pay
you sure
for
that
4 or 5 internet lines.
Like,
do what?
You sure that salesman wasn't drunk? He's sitting there spitting the truth and not getting his ass.
I know, right? I know, right? Like,
I don't know.
It sounds like that dude was drunk as fuck, man. It sounds like he came into work.
He's like, yeah, we're fucking you over. Yeah, we got you.
I'm not saying he has a job anymore, but I'm just saying that's what he said to me. I was like, I was like, okay, well, you got credit for being honest.
But I'm just saying, that fucker was tipsy as a motherfucker, man, spitting the truth like that.
I asked her, I was like, what can you do for me? And they were like, well, I can't put you back on anything. I was like, I said, so there's no more unlimited plan. And she goes, well, everybody's doing limits now. And I was like, that's not true. I said, the only reason y'all did limits, I said, I've been having y'all for a while. And I said, y'all never had a limit 1. I said, all of a sudden I get this letter. I said, yeah, because y'all are losing business on your cable side. And you figure, everybody needs internet to stream all these apps that you're losing business to. So you figured, hey, I can control you this way. And that's exactly what he did. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. And they started capping everybody at 1 terabyte. She's like, well, the 1 gig speed is 2 terabyte limit per month. And I was like, but you don't have that in my area. She's like, no. And I was like, so what can you do? Because they wanted to charge me like $175 per line to come out here and put another 2 internet lines in it. And I was like, fuck that. I was like, I'm not paying you shit. Because like I've been with y'all forever, and I was like, y'all are fucking me over. And I was like, I've been on time every month. There ain't no reason for y'all to be doing this shit. And so she worked with me and my internet bill, I just told you I went to PlayStation View to lower my bill from like $300 a month to basically $100. But now I'm back up to $300 a month. Because I'm like starting like Tuesday, where they're coming out and installing an internet line in my son's room and in my daughter's room, and they're each going to have their own one.
Your bill's about to jump.
Well, yeah, to $340 a month.
No. Try like 600. Try like 600, because they're going to run over the goddamn Cap.
Oh no, but the thing is though is that I'll have their modems on my PC to where I can go to their ISP address for the modem, and if I see that they're going over, I'll just cut the shit off.
Yeah, that will get, you'll cut it off on the first day, bro. It's on right now. First day cut off.
Oh no, because like the main person right now, the main reason for the like me going to close to 3 terabytes right now is because I just got a bunch of like all my games on Xbox that I wanted downloaded at one time. So I downloaded probably almost 4 terabytes worth of games. My daughter streams Netflix from the time that she gets up to the time she goes to bed. So that part will still be there, but yet the downloading like 4 terabytes in one, a day and a half won't be happening.
Yeah, but see, you just pretty much said exactly what I just said a minute ago. You have all them people over there downloading and streaming on a daily basis. Guarantee you're gonna run over that in the first day.
Oh, I might, but the thing is though is that I'd much rather. I can run over, like maybe 500 gigabytes on each line, and that's going to still be cheaper than me running over 1,500 gigabytes on one line.
I feel you. I just because
right now
I am definitely in agreement. I can't remember. I don't remember the name of the act right now, but the Internet Parity Act or whatever the hell's going on. I'm definitely in agreement with that. I think like we shouldn't have these cable providers fucking charging us out the ass because of shit that's going on with other areas like the streaming and shit.
Hey Rambo, does Cox ever answer their shit or no? On
what
Twitter?
Do you mean? That they answered me in a DM once. I had my DMs open and they answered me in a DM once because I had an outage in my area for 6 hours and they're like, yeah, well, it'll get back, it'll get back on whenever it gets back on. I was like, so what are y'all gonna do for my, my shit? Like, cause I'm paying you for the full day, and you're not giving me a full day's worth of service. So they DM'd me and they ended up crediting me like, I think it was like $300 or whatever. So I mean that they have good customer service, except that like this right here. Like completely negates all the positive they done for me,
Yeah.
Like you, fucked me over.
I tweeted them. I said, "What kind of scam are you guys running here? This is bullshit. You fucking know it." So I'm just wondering if they ever will answer back.
Because, I hope they do because
I think personally, more of these companies need to be called out. Honestly,
they do.
Twitter, over social media,
they don't just need to be called out, man, but they need competition, man. So they have a reason to lower these rates.
Okay, here's the thing, though. But here's the thing, Jay, is like how the insurance companies, how your health insurance is so damn high.
Yeah.
Okay, the reason why they have that is because they have these imaginary lines across the United States. So where like Comcast can't cross that line and give cable service in my area. The same as like maybe MetLife can't cross the line and give health insurance in your area. And that's the reason why rates are so fucking high.
That's what I'm saying. I can't remember the name of the act, but I was watching a video about it, someone talking about it. And that's why I agree with that. Like we need an Internet Parity Act or something where like these other companies can cross that imaginary line and give friendly competition. So we can get the better service because like we're lacking in internet compared to like places like South Korea and stuff like that actually have really great fucking internet.
Which is crazy because South Korea you would consider would be, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a first world country, but I wouldn't say it's a third world. I'd say probably maybe like a second world country.
It's a second world country all the way.
But it has better fucking infrastructure than we do.
Yeah.
And that's just sad, man.
We need to get out of this whole fucking the corporations control everything and actually.
But see, that was one of the things I really liked about Donald Trump is that he was like preaching like as far as like instead of doing the Obamacare, he was going to remove those imaginary lines for the health insurance and let them compete nationwide, which would lower the rates tremendously because then they'd have more open up their customer base.
Yeah,
actually, I think he's the one that's talking about doing the Internet Act. I'm not 100%.
And I'm hoping to God that he'll do the same thing for the internet because I'll jump ship to a different provider if you're going to actually give me the service that I need. But I'm sure that no matter what, rates will come down, limits will go away. Because there's going to be one company out there, like maybe say like Time Warner. I'm not saying that they are going to, because we all know that they probably suck. But like say,
Oh, yeah,
like say
they suck
Time
dick.
Time Warner might jump into my area and go, look, we'll give you the 1 gig a month, 1 gig down or whatever, but we'll give you that with unlimited for $75 a month. Well, Cox is, that's been around forever here in Oklahoma, is going to have to compete to stay in business here in Oklahoma. So they'll be like, look, we'll match that and give it to you for 50. So I mean, I'll be like, okay, sweet, I'll stick with you. But that's the only way that anything's ever going to change, because right now, Cox can charge me whatever the fuck they want to charge me, because my only other option is 5 megabits per second down, and not even 1 megabit per up, 1 megabit up, and it's still 1 terabyte limit.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, but that's
we can hear you, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. I think it is actually Donald Trump is the one that's discussing about doing the whole internet parody shit.
So wait a minute. Not only did we downgrade to Hangouts this cast, but we downgraded in guests, and we have Jay in here. What happened?
Yeah. You said the same thing I did, man.
Hold on. I don't want to hear anything from your ass, because wasn't you like last time I was in here complaining about me not being on Xbox Live? Now I'm on Xbox Live, and this motherfucker is never on.
Jay, I am on every day, and you invite me to parties every day.
I actually see him playing.
Yeah, every day.
It's the first time I see the day. It's the first time I've seen.
It's the first all y'all in teammates right now.
It's the first time I've ever. This is the first time I've seen Jay play games.
What? Get the fuck out of here! I play on PC. I played games with y'all on PC before.
You called? Yeah, you played. No, you didn't play with me. You played League of Legends. We don't call that a game.
Oh, that's more of a game than you'll ever
play.
That's
voluntary chemotherapy treatment.
Yeah.
Simo says so much misinformation. How do you mean, Simo? I'll give you a link into this chat if you want to.
Yeah, I would like to try
your. Yeah.
Misinformation about what?
I really don't know.
If I may ask something real quick, a little off topic. If I ask for Tenga if he wants to join in like he did last time.
I already sent him a link. Yeah, I already sent him a link.
I'm not against him.
Oh no, I just didn't know if you guys wanted to keep this to like a certain amount of people.
Rambo's against somebody?
No, I said I'm not against him.
He's not.
Okay.
I don't give a shit. I don't. Okay.
I didn't think you guys did, but I didn't think you guys did. I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, you're
about good. What?
If for Tenga, if it's cool if I ask for Tenga, if
no, he's talking about Simo. He's talking about Simo.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, Simo about what? Like what was I misinforming about? Because I can guarantee you that was the. If you're talking about like the Donald Trump thing, that was his whole health insurance plan was to remove the barriers, the imaginary barriers across the United States that stop people from competing nationally instead of regionally, in which that would definitely lower rates.
It would. That would bring more competition.
And there is imaginary lines with internet service providers that they cannot go over that certain line to provide you service in a different area.
Because certain states have certain laws where they only allow 1 or 2 ISPs at a time.
That's because of the fucking, like we were just saying.
Then what?
Yeah, I wasn't in the last one, but I was telling Rambo on Twitter this week that I think there's enough big celebrities and big people in the industry with enough influence to where net neutrality or whatever you want to label this bullshit going on right now is not going to end up being as bad as we all think.
What, the abolishment of it or the implementation of it?
Everything. Like
if it gets abolished, doomsday. It's going to be. If it gets abolished, it will be doomsday as far as what we know the internet to be.
They need to fix it, man.
Yeah, Brimstone, send him a link so that way he can. Because I'd like to know what the hell I'm wrong about. I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm looking for him on Discord right now. Let's see, Simo.
Oh, JC's right. I mean, he can. I know the internet. I know I'm not wrong on the internet because I used to work for Cox Communications. I used to do this shit. I know that we can't go. You can't go into certain areas if you're that company.
Oh, there you are. Okay, I got you. Come on in, sir. Let's see what you got.
Hey, fuck you yet again.
Come on, Remy just says he works for Cox, and you have nothing for that. Are you slow today? Come on, man.
Oh no, I was predisposed. Okay.
I'm still pissed with Shaner. Fuck off, Shaner.
What? Eat
my dick, Jay.
I would, man, but it's not good enough. And you got no hot sauce on the bitch. Get it right, motherfucker. Where's the hot sauce on it?
I'm gonna fuck you and make my dick come out the back of your neck if you don't shut your mouth.
Ooh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, let's talk. Speaking of that line, I watched a Jack Move Johnny video at work the other day, and I thought that shit was so hilarious. He told Hard 8 that he was gonna put a gun in his mouth and blow it out to the back of his door and install a doggy door. Like, I was like,
the whole Hard 8 and fucking Jack Move Johnny shit is fucking tripping, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't care who's wrong. I just thought that shit was hilarious. I never heard that shit before.
I'm not
them
gonna.
Them two were going like wild, man.
That shit had me laughing, dude. I was laughing so hard.
Oh, me too.
Dude. They were like, dude, like, what are you listening to? I'm like, I'm listening to one of the dudes that I used to.
Did you see the live stream where Jack Move Johnny went completely fucking crazy on Hard 8? I think he deleted it. That shit was balls.
Yeah, I downloaded it.
Oh, you downloaded it? I need that link. I need that link.
Morgana actually re-uploaded all of their uploads. So Morgana, if you go to Morgana, it's just a YouTube like Morgan and then Yeah.
I subscribed to his channel when he had that one video where like fucking Jack Move at the end shot him with a shotgun. That shit was balls ass funny.
Simo, you're black? Oh my god! No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man! Oh my god! Look like I gotta hang somebody.
I thought you were white. No.
God damn it! All right. Time to get the lynch out. Hold on for a minute. Let me get my cross.
All right, Sibo. So let's see what Sibo has to say. So
I want to hear what I got to hear this.
Yeah.
Before I really go on any sort of talk or whatever, I just want to make sure I got what you're saying correct. So basically, you're saying that there are invisible lines that are artificially created with the internet, similar to how healthcare works right now.
No, I think.
Just a minute, Jay. Just a minute.
No. If I don't have it right, then just explain what you mean.
No, because Jay will walk all over you. Jay, shut up.
Okay. like in my area, I have Cox Communications and AT&T. AT&T has a more of a global reach or whatever than a national reach than say Cox Communications or Comcast. But we can't get Comcast here in Oklahoma, and we can't get Time Warner here in Oklahoma. These providers they're not just internet providers, they're cable TV providers. So whenever they go to apply for a cable TV license here, like in an internet license here in Oklahoma, they get shot down because Oklahoma will allow a certain number of internet service providers and a certain number of cable providers in the area, because there is imaginary lines that this is your area of operation and this is your area of operation, and you can't go past it. You can't encroach in that. Cox Communications can't encroach in Time Warner's area because they're direct competition with each other, because they both provide TV and internet and phone, and they have this imaginary line that they've set this up this way. These companies did, Cox and Time Warner and Comcast, so that way they could have that area to themselves, kind of like a drug dealer. This is my fucking corner. I can charge whatever the hell I want to for these drugs. You can't come in and take over any of my business. There's imaginary lines out there.
First to the drug dealer in this scenario.
And so how do you propose you fix the problem then?
By taking those lines down, by saying Cox, there's no states can stop a TV service provider or an internet service provider from setting up a shop in your area. So they could then, instead of that, they don't even have to build a shop here in Oklahoma. They could be in New York, but send people send a satellite office here and be able to install from a remote location. Just go out to and service a certain portion of the United States, and be able to that would give me access to Cox, Time Warner, Comcast, AT&T. I forgot what the other. There's other ones out there, but I can't think. Virgin Mobile, Spectrum, Verizon. It would give me access to all of these things for all in my area. Which, if they did that, then I would all the rates around me would drop dramatically, because of the fact that if Time Warner is not going to come in here and be more expensive than Cox, a homegrown, company that's been here for years, they're going to be cheaper. So it's going to force Cox to go cheaper. Then Comcast comes in and says, I can do it even cheaper than that. And then it's going to just be back and forth.
And you know what's crazy about all this is like they would actually benefit each other more if they did this, because then they wouldn't have to cover the cost by themselves to upgrade their lines. Instead, everybody would be pulling in together and making sure
everybody would be running off the same lines. Everybody would be running off
Okay, I get what you're saying now. Yeah. I thought it must have been like sort of a miscommunication, because I would actually agree with that completely. Because I thought you were referring to like net neutrality and stuff like that, like using that.
Oh God, no! I'm all for net neutrality.
So you are for net neutrality.
Yes, because net neutrality is what keeps the internet to where like they can't slow down my service more because I'm a gamer. They can't throttle my internet because I want to go check out YouTube. They can't throttle my internet because there's not a package that said like how you like right now you have TV packages that say, here's your basic TV package, and then pay a little bit more, and here's your you get ESPN and the Cartoon Network and all this stuff with this package, and a little bit better you get HBO and Epix and all that. Well, that's what they would do with the internet if net neutrality wasn't a thing. Like you'd be getting the basic internet package, or you would be able to get here's a package where CNN and HBO not HBO, but CNN, Fox, whatever these other websites, they won't actually take part of your, your service, like your limit per month. And then your next internet package might have all those previous ones, and they might have Facebook and YouTube in there. The next one might have Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, so that way they can sit there and gouge you for like maybe $150, $300 a month to have the full internet package to where everything is basically unlimited, but yet you're still paying out the ass to get that unlimited. Okay, I get what you're saying. I got a few problems with net neutrality though before I really dive into that. Like what? I'd like to know what, because
first off, let's just think about this for a quick second in terms of like just regulation in general, right? We look at the internet today, and we don't see when you look at the internet's inception to what it is like just before net neutrality was implemented, you would basically see a giant amount of what I would call, well, basically the best example of a free market. Because if you look at the internet today, is pretty much, at least before net neutrality was implemented, it was a completely unregulated and totally free place where you could do whatever you want to do, right?
Yeah, if I'm wrong, net neutrality is not implemented yet.
No, it has.
No, net neutrality has been implemented for
at least a year.
Yeah, but it's not implemented in the way you're talking about, Rambo.
Okay. So that way we're all clear. Net neutrality right now is fine. What we're talking about is what can change with net neutrality.
Yeah, Jay. What I was saying is what would happen without net neutrality.
Well, personally, the problem lies. If you look at the internet's inception, it was basically made at a point where let's just do this like in levels, like 10 levels or whatever, right? The amount of internet that it could handle, let's just say it was like level 5, right? And throughout as time progressed, that level of what it could handle started increasing. It started approaching, going from level 1 where you had like, dial-up connection and stuff like that to like, having broadband, and now we're on fiber. And so now we're dealing with internet bandwidths and datas that are exceeding that level 5 limit. And so what you got to do is that you got to make it so that level is basically increased to a higher percentage point, which is what the internet providers have been trying to do. Actually,
no, they're not.
But no. Listen. I'm not done yet. Now, the reason why you're not seeing much progress in that regard is because, simply put, there is a huge amount of cost when it comes to trying to put new lines in.
Well,
right.
And just the proof of that, by the way, is how long is it taking Google Fiber to even get to where its point is right now?
do you understand why? Okay, but that's the thing is you don't understand. That's not proof that costs anything. That has nothing to do.
No, it has everything to do with it because
no,
listen,
it doesn't. Like, do you want me to tell you why Google Fiber is like the reason why they're having problems? It ain't because of the lines. It ain't because of the cost of the lines.
Okay, what's the problem?
It's because of the internet service providers that are in these areas. Cox, Time Warner, Comcast, Verizon. They're saying it whenever they have pull in their states, the states that they run, they have pull within those governments. So whenever Google Fiber comes in and says, "Look, we want to cover the whole damn United States because we're just that damn good and we can give people great service at a great price," they're coming in and they're saying, like, they're going to their congressmen in their states and saying, here's $1 million, here's $10 million, whatever the cost is, to get that congressman to vote no that Google can't come into those areas.
Okay,
Google's not having problems laying in the like you're talking about Google.
Well, here's the problem with that. What I was gonna say with that example of the whole cost business, even if let's say that's not true. Let's just say the whole cost thing, like it's just too expensive to lay out a whole bunch of lines in a short period of time for Google. Let's just say that example is true. Why in the world will the cost be so high to begin with? Because of all the rules and regulations that government would implement in order to increase those costs.
Okay.
All the safety. No, I'm not done. All the safety procedures, all the other sort of crap they got to go through in order to do that, right? So basically,
net neutrality has nothing to do with that, though.
No. Listen, I'm not done. So
okay.
It makes sense. So
he said he's not done. Get it right, son.
Goodness, but if the costs were actually that high because of all those artificial barriers, that would be a problem of government. Now, let's just say I'm going to take your word for it and say that's not the case. However, though, that doesn't change the fact that the whole reason why it's not working right now is because government's still in the way. Now, how do you solve that? You don't solve that by simply you don't solve that by implementing more rules and more regulations.
There's not more rules and more regulations.
No, we're talking about removing caps, dude.
You don't. Okay, here, wait.
Whoa. That's not what that's not what it does. That is not what it does.
Net neutrality takes it away from it being considered a utility and gives it back everything back in control of nothing, everything in control of the internet service providers. So let's just take it as a gaming standpoint. What's a game that you love to play on the PC?
Dirty Bomb.
Dirty Bomb. No, let's get bigger than that. What's one of the big, huge games that you just love to play on PC?
Dirty Bomb, because that's basically all I play right now.
I'll say Overwatch.
Okay.
I'll say Overwatch.
Overwatch. Okay.
Yeah, but whatever.
Okay. Overwatch right now is net neutrality because it's on PC, it's on PlayStation, it's on Xbox. It's net neutrality. That's the way net neutrality works. Now, give the power back to the creators, like full 100% back to the ISPs, and you'll have one internet. We're just going to consider like PC as a company, Sony as a company, and Microsoft as a company of all internet service providers. Net neutrality will say, okay, Microsoft can come in and go, all right, you can't play Overwatch unless you pay me an extra $100 a month because you're going to be on it for so much longer, and like that, or you won't even be able to play Overwatch at all unless you pay my $500 console because I can control this.
The problem, I just looked up a real quick brief CNET article.
It comes to this though, dude. Do you like what you have now?
The problem, what I understand,
if you do, then you don't want that shit to change. And if this passes, it'll all go away.
My problem though is that the whole net neutrality thing is basically saying net neutrality is the idea that all traffic on the internet should be treated equal. The problem is nothing in life is equal to a point where you can treat it all equally. Just take for example.
Wait. You're conflating life and conflating that with what they're talking about on the internet. They're not talking about.
It's not a
They're not
living
talking-
being.
No,
They're not
listen.
talking about.
I'm
No, wait,
talking
no,
about
they're not
the
talking.
value of whatever you price stuff at.
No, they're saying for your for however much you're paying your internet service provider, net neutrality says that you can access no matter what site on the internet the same. Like I can go to Facebook and get the exact same speeds as I'm going to Target.com, or I can go to BestBuy.com and get the exact same speeds as I'm going to YouTube. And you think that could be? You think that's a problem?
Though, is that that's the cost of business in terms
That's not the cost of business. There's nothing. There's nothing the companies have to do.
Listen, stop freaking out for a second. When it comes to bandwidth, it is a limited supply. Basic economics will tell you
it's not a limited supply.
Yeah, it is.
How is it a limited supply though? Can you?
It's not a non-renewable resource, dude. It's not gasoline. Come on.
My internet service provider. Listen, my internet service provider right now on just the just a minute.
I want to hear this. I want to hear this logic.
Just a second.
Okay, gosh.
Because you're not understanding this. Because I used to work for these people, and I actually installed these lines, and I know about like the cable lines that are run in your neighborhood right now. If they are run on that coaxial cable, they can go up to 10, like a full gig on that coaxial cable. They don't even have to give you the whole gigabit internet speed. They don't actually have to install fiber. They choose not to. My Cox Communications right now actually has the ability to give the whole entire Oklahoma area a full gigabit per second download. They cap themselves at the 300 megabits per second on that, and they want to install new lines and make you pay for it.
My problem, though, is that you're not even understanding supply and demand. Basic supply.
There's no limited supply of internet.
Hold on. Let him explain. I want to hear this bullshit. All right.
Just let me explain this. It's going to make sense if you just give me a little bit of time, okay? Alrighty. So here's this. Nothing in life is unlimited. Nothing in life is absolutely unlimited for either one reason or another. Now, when you look at bandwidth, okay, even let's just say you could create bandwidth just like just basically copying a file like you could on the computer. That still takes man hours. That still takes time to do, and that still takes money to operate because you're still using electricity to operate that stuff. Correct?
Nobody's talking about electricity.
No. You gotta listen to me for a quick second.
Okay. Well, you said okay.
I'm not done.
Okay, continue. Continue. Go ahead.
Okay. So let's just say even if you could create bandwidth like an unlimited amount, you still got to run that amount. You still got to run the bandwidth using not unlimited sources.
But you can create bandwidth in an unlimited amount. That's where you're wrong, dude.
But you still have to run that by not unlimited sources, aka stuff like electricity, and that electricity costs money, and money is not an unlimited source.
But electricity is.
No, it is not. No, it is not. Because guess what? If you run out of money, you no longer have electricity. Stop paying your bill for a solid few weeks.
Hey, no. That's a limited supply of money, not a limited supply of electricity.
But the money dictates the electricity, which dictates the fact you have
to work harder. But you're actually adding the problem of people being able to pay their bills with the fact of the internet being in a limited supply. The internet is not a limited supply at all.
It's not. It is a limited supply.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, you need to get off that
Okay,
man, and stop.
Okay. All right. So I want to weigh in on this before everybody starts talking over each other. I want to start weighing in on this before everybody starts talking over each other. Okay.
It's not like I want to get a word in anyway, dude.
I know, right? I know.
I'm sorry, guys.
So I'm looking at it like this. I see what he's trying to say. He's trying to connect the expenditure of running a business that is an internet provider. I get what you're trying to say, Simo. But to say that it's limited by financial standpoints, you are also forgetting that these big companies, man, they get massive breaks on the electric companies. They get where consumers like you and I are paying more per kilowatt on our power bill than any company that's out there where you live.
Oh,
or
hell
where
yeah.
I live. These guys get massive electricity breaks.
It's
so
not free. It's not free sometimes.
It's not free. It's not free.
Well, I mean,
but,
close to being free as far as like what they're paying compared to us.
Yeah, definitely. So like they're massive breaks. This is where I don't feel sorry for them. Companies and corporations, they get breaks to run their businesses. You're saying that, and it's for the very fact that you're arguing. Actually, is because you're saying it's not unlimited because of financial means. Which again, I understand where you're coming from, but you got to understand, like, the argument in itself. What we're talking about is the internet and bandwidth as a substance itself is not limited. We're not talking or conflating the two arguments together and saying, oh, yeah, this is by a financial standpoint. We weren't even arguing about the financial standpoint of things. We're just talking about internet companies in general, not only receiving breaks from major corporations or electric power companies or utility companies, but making sure that the very thing that they're running as a means of communication isn't going to be rung up as a fucking utility to where more corporations could get even more breaks. You know what I mean? Because if more things get registered as a utility, that's more corporations and companies that are going to receive even more breaks, because then they're going to be like, well, it's a utility. We could use this as a business expense, blah, 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 and get more money back, pretty much, right? So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. What we're arguing, though, is less regulations as far as the way of the end consumer. So we're not saying the consumer should be able to do whatever, say whatever, but we shouldn't be fucking nickel and dimed like we have been for our bandwidth, regardless of how other people look at that. You shouldn't be regulated because you're on Netflix versus being on Facebook. That's fucking stupid. Netflix.
Well, the problem again that I have with that is that Netflix.
Dude, he wasn't done.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I thought he was.
No. I was just saying Netflix should not have to, as a company, create server caching for their customers because their ISPs want to rip them off. And mind you, that is a thing, Simo. There was articles about this during the first thing of net neutrality when Obama was trying to pass SOPA. The ISPs were ripping off companies like Netflix. Now, mind you, this same company that's ripping off Netflix is trying to rip off the power companies, and the power companies are letting them do it. So I'm just saying, monkey see, monkey do. You know what I mean? It should be fair for everybody to receive some sort of break when it comes to running a business, especially when it comes to ISPs knowing full well that there's major corporations that rely on them. So why aren't they cutting their businesses with breaks? Why do they get all the breaks? You know what I mean?
Okay. I totally get what you're saying.
Can I just add to that? But just a minute, let me add to that real quick. The only reason that you're having these companies want net neutrality gone, these ISPs, is because if you look at every major ISP provider, they are also a cable TV provider. So, what business has been hurt the most by Netflix, YouTube, Stars app, HBO app? What business has been affected the most? These cable TV providers. The only reason that they want net neutrality gone is so that way they can do what they've done to me
and get away
and get away with it. Because right now, like I have the option of paying $340 a month for my internet to be able to get the data amount that I need. But if net neutrality is gone, then I have to choose. Do I want to be able to have my freedom and the shows that I like and the way I like them through Netflix and PlayStation View and Stars and the WWE app and shit like that? Or am I going to be forced to go back to my cable provider and get TV through them? They're going to be able to dictate that through their internet, because what they're going to do is if net neutrality is gone, they're going to make me pay a hefty ass fee for being a Netflix consumer, because Netflix is going to be a very big target for every one of these ISPs, because that's where they lost a bunch of business to. So they're going to charge you out the ass to be able to go to get the speed required, or the speed at all, to be able to run Netflix. And that's what net neutrality protects us, so that way these ISP providers can't fuck over Netflix, because they're a bigger company than Netflix.
Okay, I totally get. I get what you're saying.
Wait, just because two people are driving down the same highway, if one of them, pays whatever, doesn't mean that person gets to go faster. There's a speed limit. It needs to stay that way. If you get what I'm saying.
But here's the issue, and I'll use an analogy that we all can understand. Very, very simple. So let's say you have a highway, right? 2-lane highway, and normally you would just have small time cars, small trucks, nothing huge or whatever just going on, right? Now all of a sudden one day you got multiple 18-wheelers coming up, clogging up everything, causing all sorts of problems like car accidents, traffic jams, all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Now what do you do as a person? Let's say you own that particular road, right? Just acknowledging here. What do you do when you try to say, what are we going to do to solve this problem?
Okay, what you do is like what they've been doing. I can tell you exactly what happens in that situation. They go around to like the state that you're in, where that's happening, goes around and makes a collective thing, like we're going to raise our sales tax or whatever, a penny for everybody in the whole entire state, so that way we can build a wider highway. And
okay,
so,
cool.
but wait. Whoa! No, let me finish. No, let me finish.
Okay.
Because what you're talking about, what you're suggesting by giving it back to the ISPs would be to be able for the people that are running that road to be able to charge those 18-wheelers even more money for being able to drive on the fucking road in the first place. If net neutrality is gone,
that's not what I was about to say.
That's what net neutrality does. It lets everybody drive on the road.
No, listen. I'm not. You haven't even let me finish my analogy yet. Like I just let me continue.
I'm not doing this tonight. Sorry. I'm not.
We're just talking. I mean, I don't really. All right, whatever. It's all good.
But why is your mic is weird, man? It's like gurgly and such. Yeah, right now it's like really gurgly to me.
Well, fine.
Cyrus, I don't have anything either, so, or at least in my room where I'm at, so.
I don't know, but gosh, I'm not
like I'm a little confused as to what you're like arguing for. I guess.
No, well, what I'm trying to simply say is, if I can even finish my analogy, just real briefly, is that you basically have the Netflixes, the YouTubes in the world that are hogging up the lines, aka the highway, and in short, they're causing a bunch of slowdowns. Now, you can either do that by simply expanding the road, as Rambo said, or you can just simply do that by charging certain people more or everybody more. Which is the best of two options? I would simply say, charging the 18-wheelers more, but the problem is those 18-wheelers don't want to deal with that.
Well, they shouldn't have to.
No, they absolutely should, because the problem is that, like I was trying to say before, there's only a certain amount of space that you have to deal with stuff. If you only have 100, let's say you only have let's say you have 9,000 things, just a number like 9,000 whatever that you can flow to this one thing, and you only get 1,000 space. That's always going to cause a whole bunch of clogging up and things of that nature. So what you have to do is charge certain people more because they take up more in general.
Okay, let's quit.
One thing I really want to make clear, by the way, is that the internet was actually never neutral to begin with. It wasn't, because here's the thing. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but with websites, let's say you own a website, right? You can have a particular server for your website where it's like a standard website server thing, where multiple websites are a part of the same server. Like you have 10 websites on this one server, right? On this one server here, 15, 100, whatever the number wants to be, right? Well, that's obviously not going to be as expensive. But at the same time, though, if that traffic gets really, really high and that traffic gets really, really big, it's going to cause you a bunch of slowdowns. So let's say when you get big enough and you can start to afford what is a dedicated server for this thing, you obviously have to pay more because it's more expensive to run it. But at the same time, though, you get your own server. You get your own dedicated server. Now, let me ask you a quick question. How in the world is that neutral? Because at the end of the day, what really happened in that scenario is that, okay, you either pay less for a lower quality service or you pay more for a higher quality service. There's no neutrality in that whatsoever. It's not flat. Because it's like the same thing. No, listen.
Stop.
It's like the same thing with capitalism versus socialism, right? I'm not done talking.
You can even just become an argument debate thing. I thought this was a podcast.
Hey man,
I
just want to know you got pussy tonight. That's all I want to know. I mean, I got some from Shayna.
I'm just
saying.
You can either make everybody equally miserable, or you can make basically some people not so miserable, and some people doing really great.
Let me give you an idea. And then we'll stop this because I can't. This can go on all night because you're just like refusing to understand how internet works. Internet, first of all, ISP, your gigahertz or your bandwidth or your megabits per second that's coming down that line, there is no shortage. So let me put it this way. If I'm using 3 terabytes a month in my house and you have internet next door to me, you're not being slowed down because I'm using 3 terabytes more per month. You're only being slowed down by your own damn self. So here's another thing, is that I can use 100 million terabytes per month and it's never going to affect your internet service over there because there is no shortage. There is no water rationing to where there's actually a shortage of water to where you have to water on odd and even days, because there actually literally is a water shortage. There is a limited supply. Whenever you go to the internet, it's unlimited. There's nothing to stop it. There's nothing to clog it down. The only thing that clogs it down was within your own house, within your own time frame, with your own thing.
Then please explain to me why in the world do we have the internet running faster at night than we do have it the day?
That's because the companies throttle it.
No. This is even before any of that happened.
That's always been happening.
That's always been happening. The companies throttle. The companies throttle it so that way.
To dial up and
very
early.
Yes, the companies do this. The companies have been doing this for quite some time. They do this forever. Simply for the fact is that they can control the internet. So what they're doing is whenever they see a high peak usage, they're actually lowering the speeds down, so that way they're not being charged as much.
The longer you're online, the more money they make. Always remember that.
Can I ask how old this kid is?
22.
You're 22? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Never mind now.
Okay.
Continue.
Now
that age has nothing to do with it.
It does in a sense because you weren't back around and using the internet and understanding the internet whenever dial-up is. Remember, I actually worked for AOL whenever AOL actually became AOL.
Were you around during the American Revolution? Were you around during World War II?
No,
were you around during the Roman Empire?
How does that
Were you?
That we're talking
I'm not trying to talk about. I'm not trying to.
I know the facts about them.
Okay, so you told there's a difference. You didn't live it.
No,
I actually lived this.
I live it. Listen, dude. Did you know that when a crime scene is happening, and you want to get an eyewitness, those are actually the most unreliable things to ever go by?
But hey, guess what?
Just because you lived it doesn't mean that you.
So wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I gotta listen.
Wait a minute.
Everything that you got the second for Rambo's misinformation. Like, I'm still like, you said something about Rambo having misinformation, but we've only ever actually talked.
That shitty ass little fix right now, Brimstone, because you sound like you got 2 dicks in your mouth.
All right, sounds good. Go.
You sound like that. Shit, what was that robot guy that came on the advertised for that thing for Coke? For Coke.
Yeah.
Max or something like that.
Oh, I just thought Johnny Five.
It just sounds like he was having a good time on the street corner, bro. That's all it sounds like. It's real good.
Okay, the difference between your little crime scene, but here's what you're suggesting Instead of asking somebody who's actually was there living and watched the crime or even had the crime happen to them, we're like it'd be more beneficial to get the facts from a reporter that lives in Nebraska. They flew down here after the crime happened and just like talked to a couple of people and said, "Yep, this is what happened." That would be more factual than talking to the person who actually they got the crime committed to them.
That's not what I said.
Well, here's the thing though. Like you are correct to an extent. I mean, when they're in the moment like that during the crime scene, they do get some information incorrect because they don't retain everything or they're stressed out, and you have to wait for them to calm down to get their self together. You're correct about that, but they still are
immediately
the most
after.
reliable source for the information than anybody else because they lived it. They were there.
They were exactly. They were there.
I can understand. Okay, I can understand. Like, because on YouTube you hear people that, like, say I work in the gaming industry, and you find out they work at Best Buy stocking shelves. The difference between them and me is I actually worked for AOL, and then I went from there and actually worked as a line technician and did all the internet and everything else, internet, phone, and cable for my internet service provider here in my state for over 8 years.
I mean, that's like going to somebody that claims he's a doctor, and then like you find out he's not a doctor and he's fucking you over. You know,
that'd be like learning about
Surgeon Simulator.
Yeah.
That would be like, that would be like trying to diagnose, get your diagnosis on your health by WebMD instead of going to a fucking doctor.
Well, that's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I actually live, not only that I live it, but I actually worked in this damn industry. This is how I made my damn living.
Somebody needs to get arrested. Apparently. I'm hearing sirens in the background.
That you've been committing right now. But beyond that point.
But what I'm,
but no, like, whenever, I get what you're saying.
There's no shortage, but like what these companies have been doing is what they should continue to do. Is that like our internet service here in Oklahoma used to be we got the ultimate package for $60 a month, and we had like the best internet around. And then whenever they wanted to start doing new lines, guess what they wanted? Because the internet was being quote unquote, like you said, clogged up from all the 18-wheelers. They decided, okay, for the ultimate package, you're going to start paying $70 a month, and then everybody paid $70 a month. Excuse me.
They really weren't going to charge the consumer more, but more like Netflix.
Hold on. How can you?
Okay, wait. Okay, here, just a minute. What do you think's going to happen if Cox Communications, Comcast, Time Warner starts charging more money to Netflix? And you know, they're not just going to charge them more money. They're going to charge them the most money because they're the ones that are hurting them the most. So they're going to charge them. What do you think is going to happen to you? It's going to cost you in the long run because Netflix isn't just going to go, hey, guess what, guys? We're the good guys here. We're going to go ahead and eat this additional cost that these internet service providers are tossing our way and still give it to you for $12 a month.
And do you think that will be any different with net neutrality? Because at the same time, you know, Time Warner.
Net neutrality is happening right now. It's there right now. It is in place right now.
And let me ask you a quick question. Like, how long did it take for Obamacare prices to start rising?
Yeah,
dude,
how long did it take?
Net neutrality has been in place for a long time. So going without it, sure.
And Obamacare has been in place for a much longer time, and it didn't start affecting until
no, it hasn't. Net neutrality was.
No, I'm talking about Obamacare. Obamacare was in place a lot longer than net neutrality was.
How long did it take?
We didn't see Obamacare prices rise until like a year later, like a year before.
Yeah,
and so sometimes these things actually take a little while for them to take an effect. But
there's no extra charge for net neutrality. Is not going to raise any bills.
We have only seen it for 2 years so far, if that.
Oh my God!
Sometimes it takes a while for the things to take a hold.
There is no.
Let me ask you this though, man. How long did it take Obamacare to start fucking people over?
Let's look into the trade.
No. You want to use that analogy? How long did it take Obamacare to start fucking people over?
So I can give you an accurate thing. I'm gonna just Google this up real quick so I can get my facts straight.
Or you mean you don't know?
You don't know?
You weren't affected by it?
When did Obamacare get enacted?
No, that's not what you. That's not what he's asking.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you how long did it take Obamacare to start?
Yeah, and I'm trying to find that information out for you
I can tell you day one.
So
you need to type into Google when did Obamacare fuck people, not when did it go into effect.
Hold on. How do you not know this?
It was signed into law on March 23rd, 2010.
I'm done. I thought I was the retarded.
Obamacare.
It went into okay. Here, I'll tell you. It went into effect January 1st, 2014. And I continue with your. When did it fuck people over?
When did healthcare prices start?
Rambo, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
One more thing. The only real argument I've really ever heard against net neutrality is basically if you were to take away net neutrality and take away those invisible lines that you've stated earlier, where you can actually have more competition come into more local areas and come into more areas where it wouldn't have been. I could see how some people could argue the hypothetical situation that if competition was enacted more, net neutrality, if it were to go away, it wouldn't have much of an impact because there'd still be companies trying to compete. And so if they even tried to implement packages, they would basically commit economic suicide due to the fact that competition would exist and their competitors would choose not to do that, gaining more money. That is the only real argument I've ever heard.
It could. I mean, that in theory that could work. The only thing is, though, is it just kind of like if you raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, you're not going to see a huge impact at, like, say, maybe a McDonald's, like going to buy a Big Mac, but you're going to see a bigger impact whenever you're buying your groceries or your monthly expenses total, because that $15 an hour at McDonald's that people are getting is going to affect every single aspect of life that we know it. And so net neutrality, sure, if you took that away, and we might see like prices of the internet, the actual internet service that we're paying per month lower, but all these additional services that we like, and Netflix, the Hulu, the Sling TV, the PlayStation View, all those things would raise up tremendously, because those internet service providers, while not maybe even like offering a package to you that gives you those those services on that package specifically, they would still turn around and have the ability to charge these companies under the table behind the scenes, and then those people are going to raise their prices, and then your internet bill, while you might, the actual the internet service provider might be paying less, in total you'll be paying more, because these other companies will be forced to raise, instead of $12 a month for Netflix for 4 TVs and UHD streaming, you'll end up paying like maybe $50 a month for that. And then it'll raise everything else eventually, because these internet service providers, I don't think that they'll actually go along and make these packages like what they're saying, to where this package gives you unlimited access to these websites, and then if you want these like Netflix and stuff like that, you're gonna have to pay this. They'll turn around and, instead of passing that on to us, they'll pass it on to these bigger companies, which I'm not really arguing in favor of them either. But the only thing is, though, is that turning around and charging them more charges us more, because they're gonna pass those costs down to us to eat some of these costs for these things.
So basically, it's going to happen regardless, no matter which way you go about. Yeah, I was going to answer it, but then Rainbow started talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then
I'll answer it.
So let's look at the date, right? March 23rd, 2010 was when the Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act was enacted.
Rambo, let him finish.
Obamacare went into effect.
Obamacare
went into effect January 1st, 2014, in its fullest. The full bill went into effect January 1st, 2014. I want to make sure he gets that right, because he's using an inappropriate date.
Rambo, let him dig his hole first, all right?
Okay, go ahead.
Started in March 23rd, 2010.
Dude, you go for it, man. Go for it.
Go for it. Here, because that's what it is.
Go for it, man. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay?
This is when
now we got that date fixed up. We have now, if at least if this ABC News article is believed, which I will put in the chat, by the way, so you guys can take a look at it. Just so you know, I'm not pulling some crap on you guys. If that's to be believed, the approximate premium costs for your health insurance and stuff like that started increasing in 2015 to 2016.
Oh dear God.
So basically, it took either 5 to 6 years for the prices of your healthcare to start increasing. Okay, 5 to 6 years. 5 to 6 years. Now, how long has net neutrality been in place?
Hold on.
This is why you don't get your education on Google.
When have you started playing for healthcare, bro?
What does that have to do with anything?
Because you would start knowing what the fuck was going on when you started having to pay for it. That's what I'm saying. When did you start having to pay for healthcare?
That literally has nothing to do.
Yes,
That has everything to do with.
When you start having to pay for a bill and you start seeing the bill increase and you're wondering why it increases, and then you start talking about it and figuring it out, that's when you start learning this shit.
You
right?
realize what I'm talking about is literally when Obamacare started.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Versus when I'm talking about when Obamacare started and the effects of when the price increases of Obamacare actually started to take hold in reality. That is what I am trying to explain.
But you're using Google as your knowledge.
You're using Google as your knowledge. I am talking about someone.
So what? You want me to use Bing? You want me to use?
No. How about use this thing called Real World?
How about you use this thing by listening to what the older people are, telling you about?
That actually lived through this and actually experienced.
Dude, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm literally not trying to be rude here. But
man, you sound like one of them.
That doesn't matter in this particular conversation we're having, dude.
You called me. First of all, you called me. Just a second. You called me a liar.
Fucking millennials, bro.
You said I was lying and I had misinformation.
I didn't say you were lying. I just simply said you had misinformation. Sometimes people just simply don't know
how he had misinformation yet.
You wait. You're saying that sometimes people just don't know, but you don't know. You are literally having to use whatever Google says to you as your examples. Like you're thinking that Google is 100% like the real world. Like nobody can possibly lie. If it's on the internet, it has to be real because you've read it on there. But whenever we're telling you actually real world examples of us actually being affected by things, because we actually lived it. We actually paid for this shit. We actually had our we actually lost our doctors.
Are going to trump something that actually was documented.
Yes, because it actually fucking happened.
Hold on.
Hold
on. How is it subjective?
Oh my God.
A year after Obamacare was implemented, there was a lot of people that were saying they were getting screwed over by Obamacare. So how is that subjective? That's a large.
Not subjective at all. It's very objective.
That's what I don't understand. Anecdotal, maybe, but not subjective.
Yeah.
I mean, they were
80% of people said they're getting screwed, but the 20% also said they're not. So
that's the 20% that were using Obamacare. That's not the fucking 60% that wasn't using Obamacare that had to pay for the people that were using Obamacare.
Yes, but here's the problem with what you're trying to simply say is, go by real life experience. Sometimes real life experience. What you actually experience in your life is subjective and really can be full of misinformation.
Oh my God!
This is one reason why we don't go by.
That is a two-way street, by the way.
We don't go by fields.
Hey, I'm not. Listen to me. Please tell me how. Whenever Obamacare was enacted, and then whenever they actually signed it and said, okay, this part is actually going into law. This is the law of the land across everywhere. How is my feelings involved in this whenever my doctor says, sorry, we are no longer covered under your plan? How is that my feelings whenever that actually is a factual fucking statement and an actual fucking thing that actually happened? How is it anything of my feelings or my subjectivity whenever I'm actually paying, like on my employer's health insurance at the time? We actually had better Obamacare, but whenever Obamacare went into place, I was actually paying $30 a month for me and my family. But whenever Obamacare became a law, I was paying $330 a month because I actually had to pay for all the other people sitting on their ass doing nothing, living off Obamacare.
Pretty fucking much. That's what I was about.
That's not anything about feelings. That's actually real world thing. But you know what? You're using Google. You didn't use your paycheck.
Backtrack for a quick second. Why are we even bringing this up?
Because I asked you a question and you didn't even know.
You brought up Obamacare.
You brought it up.
Listen.
You brought up Obamacare.
Why this is even being brought up is because I was trying to give the example.
You was giving an analogy and your analogy sucked ass. Bottom line.
Let me freaking finish.
Finish what, man? You've been fucking retarded this entire fucking cast. Like, you've been going around in circles. You have yet to make a fucking point. And it's
every time you keep freaking interrupting me, idiot.
Well, we sat there and gave you 10 minutes of not talking, you dumb shit.
Shut up. Let me freaking finish.
God. Finish your damn
already.
Dude, if you want me to talk, why don't you just simply shut up? Gosh, dang, man. What I'm trying to simply say is Rambo said, oh, well, we had net neutrality for like 2 years now. We haven't seen a price increase. I was simply trying to say by using Obamacare as an example, saying, okay, well, Obamacare was enacted in such and such date, happens to be March 23rd, 2010, and we didn't see the prices increase until 5 to 6 years later.
Okay, here's the problem with your analogy.
Sometimes it takes a while for things to come.
Here's the problem with your analogy. We almost see the prices increase immediately. Your dumbass was too young to actually see that shit because you wasn't paying for bills back then.
How about you take a minute? Do you even understand Obamacare?
Yes.
Do you know that Obamacare wasn't implemented in full the very first time, that it actually went in stages? Do you actually understand that?
Just because it was implemented
No. Don't start saying just because. Do you understand that?
No, it doesn't mean jack, dude.
It does mean jack because different parts of Obamacare fucked over different people.
And it wasn't even in every fucking state when it first came out.
Do you even understand this? This is the problem, is that you're using Google as your fucking knowledge. You're getting your information from ABC News.
Calm down, bro. Listen, you said it was implemented in stages, right?
Oh,
correct. Correct, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so guess what? Sometimes those effects are not going to be seen immediately, depending on the situation, depending on what is happening. There are multiple factors that can determine how fast something is affected. So, for example, just small example. If I hit you with a car and kill you immediately, that's going to obviously affect you faster than if I was to simply inject the poison in you and kill you over time.
It's going to really benefit you to get some life experience. It's going to benefit you to get some life experiences under your belt. To come in and try to have this information, like
your life experience. I'll be honest
life
with you.
Experience matters a lot.
I don't care about your blunt. I don't care about your life experience. Let's talk the facts.
You don't know the facts. You're using fucking Google.
How can you even use non-facts, man? How can you even talk about facts right now and you have no fucking life experiences whatsoever? You can't even use statistics, factual information.
Listen.
Hey, wait. No, wait. Simo. Let me ask you this. If you're gonna ask, okay, let me find out how electricity works. Are you going to go, if Alexander Graham Bell was sitting right here, are you going to say, you know what? You're not a reliable source because you're just going to be off of life experiences, even though you created fucking electricity, but we're just going to ignore you and we're going to use Google.
Yeah, I really want to know if this motherfucker's an Alex Jones supporter.
False equivalency number one. Okay? False equivalency number one.
It's not.
Yes, it is. Because here's what you're saying. Like, let me ask you a quick question. Did you create healthcare? Did you have any involvement with healthcare, period, in the creation of it?
No, but you know what? I actually had involvement in the paying for it.
That's a false equivalency.
No, I had information. Oh my God. Brim.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so I think you guys just need to shut the fuck up and everybody.
Yeah, can we just
Jesus Christ.
Our audience right now is like, fuck this. This is stupid.
Can we just go? Can we just switch topics? Because I can't anymore.
Okay,
I can't.
SIBO, look, no one's gonna win here. No one. I mean, look, I could have easily came into this chat and been like, oh yeah, well here's my experiences and this is what happened to me and blah blah blah. But you know what? No, I'm not even bothered with that. This topic is a little stale now. It's everybody's yelling, everybody's insulting one another. Just calm down. God, it's not that fucking serious.
I know it's not, but sometimes you just get really sick and tired of people just yelling at you, screaming at you, constantly interrupting you for no good reason.
I don't. I have a lot of patience whenever it comes to debating people.
Yeah, same.
Maybe
I'm
it's not
trying to, but it's like, gosh, man, sometimes you just can't deal with it.
Yeah, but we just need to calm down with the bullshit. I mean, come on, we're talking here. We're not. It was supposed to be a conversation, not a fucking scream fest. Jesus Christ.
God damn neutral ass fucking brimstone.
It was, but it had me go back to flashbacks of talking with
Rambo. I think
gamer about PC gaming.
Bro, Rambo. I think I felt a vein pop out of your head during this whole conversation.
Reminds me back when I talked to JTech.
It'd be like going.
Okay, it's not that
it'd be like going back and it'd be like going for me to go to NoobTube and ask him about PC gaming.
Hey, YouTube's knowledgeable, man. What you fucking?
Oh, Storm! Don't say that shit. Storm just said. Storm just said it's like one of those hard 8 Skype calls.
Because guess where NoobTube got all of his information from to make those PC versus console videos?
ABC.
Google.
I thought he got it from Steam surveys, bro. I thought he got it from Steam surveys.
I'm not gonna kick Simo because he doesn't agree with people. Simo's
no,
my
he
boy.
don't.
I'm not gonna do anything.
No, we just have to move on from the topic because
I mean, we're gonna disagree and agree. So what? Let's move on.
I have no ill will towards Simo.
No, I mean, you guys have always gotten heated in these calls. Like you guys have, like anytime Simo and you are together, like you guys always get heated. But you know, whatever, it happens. I don't like care.
Oh wait. This is a recurring thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I came in the wrong.
Yeah. Simo and Rambo cannot agree on something.
We have 20 almost 20 years in between us, and there's a lot of things that go. A lot of things that have.
I'm blaming Bruin for this shit. He should have not told me this.
Well, I kind of wanted to throw you in, Jay, into the blender to see how you handle yourself. So you know, I mean,
I fucking hate you, man. That's all no anal gravy for your ass. How about that?
I'd like to see myself as more the mediator in all this.
All right.
You're fucking grounded, son.
So net neutrality, healthcare.
Move on from all that.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
We discussed it. It's done.
Yep. All right. So.
Wait, but I think we actually missed part of it. I think
no.
Yo, I
will come wherever the fuck you're at, Rambo, and I'll slit your goddamn throat. You bring this shit back up again.
Anyway, about that net neutrality, guys.
Yeah. You want Rambo to die, don't you?
Dude, I thought Rambo was gonna fucking.
No, he probably strangled someone first, to be honest.
No, I was strangled his ass.
Angry.
It was just so frustrating. It blew my mind. I can't without getting back into it. That's all I can say. Let's just move on.
Well, anybody been looking forward to anything coming out? Like, has there been any games for PC that's gonna be coming out soon or no?
I'm not sure about PC.
No, I'm not sure about PC.
Really, not that I know of. I mean,
I know Matterfall's on the close to be coming out, and Yakuza Kiwami is close to be coming out on PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking forward to those. So.
Just a quick question: is Destiny 2 beta going to be on PC?
Yeah, in August.
Yeah, it should.
In August,
yeah,
it comes out in August, and we get it. Consoles get it in July next week.
Yeah, on Tuesday. Tuesday, mine starts. Wednesday, Xbox starts.
Oh yeah, yep. Caesar, I'm right there with you. So me, Caesar, I think Metrox and a few others are looking forward to Monster Hunter coming out. Like I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, Monster Hunter. I've never played a Monster Hunter game, but I'm looking into this one because I want to get some kind of history behind it and stuff like that, so I can kind of understand what's going on. Is it a game where I have to have known the previous to be able to play this one, or can I just jump into this one?
No, you can just jump into it. It's fine.
Just jump into it.
There's no real story. There's story, but like it's very limited.
Nothing like a continuous like stop here and then pick up. Okay.
Right.
All right. So then what I'll do is I'll research just this Monster Hunter here to kind of get an idea of what the controls are, what type of combat it is, and shit like that. But, I mean, from what I've seen from the preview at E3, it looked really good. It looked something like I'd be interested in.
It's supposed to be this year, at the end of this year, I think.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be coming up towards the end of this year, or maybe the beginning of next.
I didn't really see a release date for it. Yo,
there wasn't a release date. Let me look it up real quick. It's called Monster Hunter X, right?
Yeah, y'all want to talk about that Crackdown bullshit? Because I was thinking about making a video about it.
Oh, Crackdown?
The downgrade?
Wait, what happened with Crackdown?
It wasn't. Hold on, Rambo. We all know that this generation is the generation of vertical slice, so we already know that they're gonna do ground grades. They do it every fucking game. I mean, I can give
you. No, whoa. There was a downgrade from the Ubisoft Watch Dogs to the end product of Watch Dogs. But guess what? It's still kind of. No,
there was a downgrade in the division. There was a downgrade in the Call of Duty.
It still kind of looked like it still was remotely close to the thing. No, I'm not saying it 100%. I'm not saying it was like oh my god, there you can't tell the difference. I'm saying it still had
this generation that has had downgrades.
This thing went from being shown off to looking like the Watch Dogs trailer to now all of a sudden their gameplay looks like a AA Borderlands 2.
Well, it's always been like that though, man. Even the original fucking Crackdown was like that.
5 years ago, we got like an Uncharted type, not Uncharted like characters looking thing. So now all of a sudden we got like Crayola.
But that's because they changed the art style mid development. Because even the developers came out and said they changed the art style. They wanted to go back to the original roots of Crackdown 1 with the art style.
This literally looks like that. I mean, and plus, let's talk about the destructible environments in the single player.
Hold on. Let's get that right quick. 2015 game.
Power of the cloud, niggas! Power of the cloud.
Let me finish this because I went back and looked at the articles back from GameStop and stuff when they did the interview in 2015. The head developer of Crackdown said back in 2015 there would not really be any destructible environment in the single player. All destructible environment would only be in the multiplayer due to the fact that they did not want the single player to be online. So we weren't supposed to be looking at any destructible environment. See, people forgot about that shit because it was almost 2 years ago when they first talked about that. And now they bring it up like they haven't already discussed this before.
This thing's been in development for 5 years.
Yeah, I know, and they've been saying that the single player will not have a destructible environment like that.
I think it's been at every E3 that Xbox One has been at.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the destructible environment, I get if we were discussing the multiplayer, but they haven't. Like that's the only thing that worried me at E3 this year. Is they didn't show the multiplayer, and that had me a little concerned. But
it still has me concerned about that for sure.
When people have me sitting here talking about like, oh, the destructible environment in single player, I go back and I'm like, did you even listen to any of the interviews from the developer whatsoever? Like,
honestly, it's pretty. But wait a minute, it's pretty fair. It's pretty fair that people forgot what the hell happened back whenever it first shown in 2013.
It was 2015 when they addressed that. The first time they
but the thing is, though, is like the game was shown first, like I think in 2013 or 2014. It was
shown first in 2013 as a dev thing for the Power of the Cloud. Then it came out.
But what I'm saying is like that from there to now.
But the original showing in 2013 didn't even have a name for the game. They were just showing off the tech. And then they came out the next year and actually gave out a name of what the game was going to be.
Right. I get that. But what you're saying, like what I'm saying is like it's understandable that people forgotten what was written even back in 2015, if you want to say that, because a lot of shit's happened since then.
I agree with you on that. I completely agree with you on that. But the people that I don't think that should be called out for this are people like fucking the Now and IGN that are reporting all the shit that reported this same information 2 years ago, but now they're reporting different information.
Well, yeah, that's kind of bullshit. Because if they're the ones who actually did report on it, then yeah, they're.
I watched the thing
problem
today from the Now, and I think it was I read an article from GameStop, and I went back and looked at their articles from 2 years ago, and they're saying completely different than what they were saying 2 years ago when they did the interviews with these companies.
Oh, that's just ignorance on their part.
So like,
that's just laziness on their part.
They didn't even go check their own information out at all.
That's just laziness.
That's the reason why I was thinking about doing a video on it, is because I was like, how do you not go back and look at your own information, the stuff that you've already reported on?
Wait, hold on. Is this for like the No, like the actual channel?
Yeah, the Now. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. That's interesting, actually.
Quick question about Crackdown 3. Is the entire game going to be online only? Because if
no.
Oh, okay.
The multiplayer is not going to be on. The multiplayer is online only because of the cloud servers. The single player,
because it's online.
do not have to be online at all. And the reasoning for that is because they wanted to make the single player not where it was online only. So they cut out all the instructional environment in the single player.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest.
Well, if you wanted the instructional environment in the single player, you would have to conform to DRM.
Yeah.
But it has DRM anyway.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it has DRM in the multiplayer, but like if
it has DRM in the single player.
Where can you buy this game? Like, where exactly can you get this game only? Like, is it only on the Windows 10 store?
10, it's Windows 10 and Xbox.
So you cannot get it. Well, okay.
As of right now.
Okay. Well, that's already conformed to a DRM already, isn't it?
Technically, yeah, actually.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
I guess if you were saying it's exclusive, but I mean that would be the same with any exclusive then.
Well, no, not an exclusive. More of it's conformed to the DRM of Microsoft's DRM, like their Windows 10 store, just like how Steam is technically a DRM.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that would be any exclusive based off their store. I mean, that would be the same with Sony. I mean, you can only buy a Sony game off their store, so that's a form of DRM. That's why I said that would be considered to almost every exclusive.
True. Yeah.
If you're going off of that.
So.
Well, I mean,
but the thing, like,
I'm not really excited about the game, but I'll probably buy it.
No, I'm not excited.
I've never played any of them. I've never played.
I never have either. To say the truth.
Here's the problem I have. With
I don't think barely anybody did.
Here's the problem I have with the Crackdown hype. No one even knows what the original Crackdown was really like. Even why it sold well. It only sold well because it had the beta for
Halo.
Halo 3.
Yeah,
that was it. It wasn't a very fucking, oh my god, this is a beautiful game.
Nobody cared about Crackdown 1 or 2, really. The main reason anybody bought Crackdown 1 is because of the beta.
I bought it strictly for the beta, and I didn't even play it a year after the game fucking came out. I bought that shit for the beta and just let it sit there. So I don't know why people.
You pay $60 for a fucking beta?
Yep. It's fucking Halo 3.
Dude, to be fair, it was Halo.
I gotta show.
Somebody had to pay me $50 to play Halo.
I gotta show S.B.O. some love. Hold on. S.B.O., you just made one of our viewers crack open a very overly priced beer over Twitter, recorded a video, and then he sent it to me.
but I mean, Crackdown, like what you're getting in Crackdown 3 is what you pretty much got in Crackdown 1. And I get that it was going to be downgraded. So I don't know why people are complaining about downgrading. And I
get the downgrade, but I get the downgrade. But the only problem I have is that like up until like here recently, and I don't mean recently like in the past month. I'm saying recently, like probably in the past maybe year or so, is that we've been like watching these graphics whenever they do show it off as being like a.
But they were the same videos from Gamescom of last year, bro. They didn't put out any new videos until E3. And that was it.
That's kind of like what I was saying. It's like we've been seeing these great graphics, and then all of a sudden we go to, oh, it's cel shaded, yay.
But even back then, it was a form of cel shading. It just wasn't all the way cel shaded.
Right.
Like,
but I mean, there's a huge difference between the two. I mean, it's not like just a downgrade. It's like a completely different looking game.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Me and you both know, in the process of game development, shit will always change. Like they will change out the art style. They may not like this. I mean, example of like when Halo 1's original development, it went from a first person, third person, RTS, back to third person, back to first person before they finally decided on a damn narrative for the game. So I mean, it's the same with Destiny.
I don't know.
I mean, look at Destiny 1; it was a fucking beta basically, and now they're talking about an open narrative story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just
development processes always change, like
but,
even in graphics and performance.
Personally,
I mean, that's the point of being an art style.
Because that's very, very, very true. It just
Honestly,
depends on
people are nitpicking the shit, and like they're not even understand what the fuck they're nitpicking. Like that's the thing I don't get.
I'm just someone who doesn't really carry the way. If the gameplay is okay and tolerable, but the graphics are bad,
I'm not gonna not buy it or whatever or think about like not even buying it because of the graphics sound great, because that part doesn't bother me. Like it's more about the gameplay whenever I buy it or not.
Here's what I don't get about the graphics. No one complained about fucking Borderlands cell shading. And a lot of people don't even know that the original Borderlands wasn't even going to be cell shading at first. It was going to have more of a realistic style. And then the creators of Borderlands decided not to go with that because it didn't fit their over-the-top art style that they wanted to go with. So they went with the cell shading look to give them more of that comic book feel so they could do a lot of the over-the-top shit.
I think the problem here that people are flipping out about is they think that it's on the same level as Ubisoft. But I think what made Ubisoft's downgrades from E3 sort of spectacular was because they straight up lied. Whenever it came to Crackdown 3, they're at least saying up front, yeah, we're going to downgrade it. And I think that's
it's not just that, but people gotta start like Crackdown's more of I would consider Crackdown more of a AA game than a AAA game.
It's definitely a AA game. I wouldn't, and it's not a first party game. I don't know why people keep on saying it's a fucking first party game.
It's not.
It's because the IP is owned by Microsoft.
Yeah, but that's not what makes first party. That means that it's still a second party game because it's the same thing as Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a first party IP, but it's not a first party game because Insomniac is making it.
Well, yeah, it's owned by the company. It's just outsourced to another company.
Yeah, that would be the definition of second party.
Would that be would Naughty Dog technically be developing like basically a second party studio to Sony as well, or would that be first party?
Sony owns Naughty Dog.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever the first party is when the Sony or Microsoft own the studio and the IP.
Okay.
Second party is when they own the studio and the studio owns the IP, or if they own the studio or they own the IP and then a second party, a different studio, a third party studio does the game. And then third party obviously is,
So wait, quick question then. If that's the case, then wouldn't Activision still be a third party because they own the IP? And also, it's also not exclusive too, so I don't know.
It is exclusive.
Well, I mean, for Call of Duty and Destiny and stuff.
Well, no, that's a third part. They own the IP and they own the company.
Yes. Yeah.
So that would be their first party title, but the game is a third party game because it's on everything.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because it was like
what makes that difference from the like Sony owning it is because Sony actually owns the hardware, and so does Microsoft owns the hardware. So that's what separates them having first, second, and third party versus somebody that just owns software, which is Activision.
Yeah, good point.
But Activision, like in Crash would be a third party exclusive to Sony as of right now. I mean, we don't know if it's ever going anywhere else. I doubt it will, but who knows? Who cares if it does? I mean, obviously if it does, it's great. But if it doesn't, I mean, I don't have any. It's not like I'm going to be like, oh shit, no, it sucks now. I can't play. I'm not going to play Crash because PC gets to play it. No, it would be a third party. It would be a third party exclusive to PlayStation right now because they own the IP and they own the actual company that made it, Vicarious Vision.
PlayStation doesn't own the IP anymore. Crash Bandicoot.
That's why I said it's a third party.
I came in. Yeah, I was going to say I came in.
Because Activision, PlayStation has never owned the Crash IP.
Well, they originally owned the first one. When it was
they didn't.
Naughty Dog.
No, they didn't. Naughty Dog.
I thought they owned Naughty Dog back then.
No. Whenever Crash came out, they didn't own Naughty Dog.
I always thought they had Naughty Dog from the start.
No.
Nope, they bought them out.
They bought them out.
Naughty Dog was always a separate entity.
They bought them out before Uncharted became Uncharted. Before Uncharted became a game. They bought them out before then.
Wait, didn't they buy them out in the 90s? Or was it way after
Yo,
that?
if I'm not
I
mistaken,
think they bought them in the 90s, but right before the it wasn't too long before Uncharted started being worked on. I can't remember the exact time frame.
But let's be honest about this Crackdown in a real for 1 second. The only reason even anybody's caring about it is because they just want to see if this actual engine, this cloud tech, is actually legit. No one's really buying it for the main game line.
Oh, that's the only reason anybody wants to like buy it or whatever like that. The only reason everybody's like complaining about the downgrade is because the Sony guys are like going, oh, look at your Xbox One X game. It looks like a AA game. That's the only reason the graphics are even becoming a thing, because if that same game was on PlayStation, everybody would be hyping it. All these same people that are complaining about the graphics, everybody would be like, wow, look at these graphics, man. They look great.
I'm sick and tired of hearing about graphics.
The people that are complaining are saying the stupid shit. Now, I'm not talking about the Xbox guys are, but the ones that are like all over Twitter that I see, because I have like what's his name? What's that Dobby Potter talking about how that game's gonna fail because of the way it looks, and I said, I'm like, first of all, it's like you have no idea if a game fails or not because you don't have any inner numbers that the company is required to meet. So you don't know if 500,000 sales is a success to Crackdown 3 or 10 million sales is a success to Crackdown 3. The only thing you can do is apply this arbitrary number that you have in your head of what you think is successful or not, and then apply it to that. But that doesn't mean that the game is a failure because it could sell 2 copies and be a success. We have no idea. We're not in the company's financials. I hate how people equate success over a certain arbitrary number of sales.
Look. I think Microsoft's using this like they did. I think they did with the first one too. They're using this game as a technical showcase for the new engine that they have.
I wish they would have. I think they are too, but I really wish that they would have actually used at least one of these games, either State of Decay 2 or Crackdown 3, to show me the power of a first party IP.
I don't think we're going to see that
on the Xbox One X.
You know what?
Rambo, I don't think we're going to see that for another 2 more years, bro. I think it's going to take at least 2 to 3 years of development for a game to actually.
I get that, but I get that, but I wish they would have done that. You know, like whenever the game came out, whenever they showed the Xbox One X at this E3, and they said, "Here's State of Decay 2," and everybody would have been like,
But you got to remember. But you got to remember that the dev kits didn't really even come out till even their first.
I get that.
Until like March of this year.
I get that. I'm just saying that. I get the whole reasoning why. I'm just saying I wish that would have happened.
Yeah, but I don't see that. That's like with PlayStation 5. When PlayStation 5 comes out, like they're not going to really be able to show the true power of that until like the first 3 years.
Yeah, I fully understand that. I fully get it. I understand. Like I'm not saying realistically that could have happened. I'm just saying I wish that would have happened.
Yeah.
Because as of right now, the games that they've shown at E3 and the games that they actually have coming, whether it be State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves, Cuphead, Super Lucky Tales, Ori and the Blind Wisp or whatever, none of those scream, let me buy a $500 console to play them.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. It's just like any launch of a console. A lot of times you don't get the games that you want in the first year. It takes 2 to 3 years to actually see a game give the performance of that console. Like, I completely agree with you.
But really, most of those games that they've shown, those games that I just said, look like they could have ran on the 360.
Yeah, you are correct.
That's the problem, is that they don't even look like they're even like an Xbox One launch game.
It's all the power of the developers.
So that's what bothers me. I'm not saying that they could have fully taken advantage of the Xbox One X, but they don't even look like they've taken full advantage of the Xbox One. That to me is a problem.
I think it does take the advantage of the Xbox One.
It might. I mean, I'm just saying that from looking at it. I mean, it might max it out. Who knows? But I'm just saying from looking at it, from outside looking in, it doesn't say damn, this right here is really, you know, like what we've been waiting on. Like, I mean, I'm gonna buy them. They look fun. They, you know, they look like games I'd play. But I'm just saying that when it comes to the buildup of Xbox One and the Xbox One S and now the Xbox One S, it looks like this thing could actually run on the Xbox 360 Elite.
Yeah, but I think that's the other problem.
You see what I'm saying?
With mid, I understand what you're saying, but I think that's also another problem that we're going to have with mid-generation consoles. Is like we're going to be stuck behind whatever the previous generation was before that, like the Xbox One.
Well, that's that is the one thing I like about the PS5. The rumors about that is that it's not going to be a mid-gen or a.
Well, I thought that Michael Pyre, whatever the fuck that analyst said, he said it was going to be mid-gen.
That guy also said there was going to be one released this year. So like all of a sudden now he's changing it. So I don't ever listen to what Michael Pachter says. But
well, yeah, but
PlayStation,
he's still PlayStation analyst that gets some shit right.
Right, but I mean, hell, even a clock is right twice a year, or twice a day. But whenever you the PS5, like they've actually said that they're not interested in like just continuing on the PlayStation 4 like that, like just continuing it on. They're actually going to have, they like the generation, so they're going to have a next generation console, which will be the PS5. So therefore, it'll be backwards compatible to where all your, like they said they're interested in the backwards compatibility part. So that will carry forward into the PS5, but the PS5 will be an actual new generation console. So therefore, the new games coming out for it, we won't be held back by the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 4 Pro or whatever you want to, whatever ends up being the standard at that time, you know. I just hope that Microsoft does the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I think they are, because I still think it's stupid too that like we haven't even got the new console and they're already talking about the fucking next one coming out.
That happened. They're not okay. That's the thing. Okay, God. Oh man, I really wish that. You know where that came from, right?
It came from Mike Ibarra.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, he was one of the first people that talked about it.
It came from Jess Corden.
No. Mike Ibarra tweeted it out. He tweeted it out and said, "Hey, we're already in developments for the next generation."
No, somebody asked him because Jess Corden. Like, if you look at these articles, they've actually screenshotted Jess Corden's tweets.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Jess Corden tweeted this out, and then somebody turned around and then asked Mike Ibarra, "Hey, are you working on this thing?" And Mike Ibarra did confirm that they are talking about it. You know that that's common knowledge that happens, because these things take 5 to 7 years to come to fruition.
Well, yeah, they said it a year ago, but I don't think it should be discussed right now whatsoever.
Right, I don't think it should be brought up in things. I mean, but the thing is though, is Jess Corden tweeted this out, but he's also the one that said it was a guarantee that once E3 happened, he would prove that he's right, that Star Wars Battlefront 2 has been confirmed to be native 4K, 60 frames per second with 4K assets on the Xbox One X. And then all of a sudden E3 came and he goes, "Oops, well maybe I should wait before I actually get more confirmed evidence or confirmed facts before I say things."
Well, didn't EA already come out a couple of days ago or whatever and have like there's going to be Xbox Enhanced on the cover?
But it's not going to be native 4K 60 frames per second.
Yes, well, we already know these games aren't going to be native 4K 60 frames.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that
you have already both agreed that a lot of these games.
My God, but that's what I'm saying is Jess Corden said this, but then they turned around and wrote these articles and all this next Xbox and everything else based on Jess Corden's tweets. They seem to think that since he works for Windows Central, that he's like in direct pipeline with Mike Ibarra and Phil Spencer and all them. They don't realize that Windows Central isn't really affiliated with Microsoft. They just happen to be a website.
It's a fanboy site, man. I said this before about it. You know, it's like ICXM. They're both fanboy sites.
They're just not as blatant about it. But yes, but that's the thing is like they're taking Jess Corden's tweets as some sort of fact. And like it's actually being developed right now. I'm gonna have to
really look at that because the thing I seen, and maybe it's because I seen it directly on Twitter, was the tweet from Mike Ibarra.
Yeah, because somebody asked him about it because of the fact that Jess Corden tweeted this out because because the PS5 was being talked about, like it was in the news for a while, and then all of a sudden Jess Corden thought, Well, how can we one up this one? Well, we can talk about the next Xbox. Well, why are you even talking about the next Xbox? Like, you already wrote off the damn Xbox One X.
Pretty much.
Like-
and that's the problem I have. Like, we haven't even got the ground legs for that console, and y'all are already discussing a new console. It's like you're killing your product before it even comes out.
Yes, and it's so damn frustrating. It's like y'all wonder why the Xbox brand is like hurting. It's not just because of the games and stuff like that. But it's also because of y'all. Like, if you go to a PlayStation channel on YouTube, or if you go to GameStop or whatever, they're talking about the like PlayStation. Like, you go in, you don't have to sit there and discern, or they don't only talk about the Pro. They just talk about PS4 as a whole, right?
Yeah.
Even on these channels, these dedicated YouTube channels to PlayStation. Not all of them, hashtag not all. There's the fanboy sites out there, but we're just saying the dedicated channels to PlayStation. But if you go to the dedicated channels to Xbox, all you hear them talking about is Xbox One X this and Xbox One X that. They don't even bring up the fact like there's any other fucking Xbox out there. So it already makes people feel like that, well, fuck, I don't even want to buy an Xbox, because if I buy this S, remember these laymen, these people are stupid, the layman people. They're already discontinuing it and giving me the X. I've got to wait for the X to come out. And now all of a sudden these channels are talking about the fucking next Xbox. They're like, shit, I haven't even got a chance to even pre-order this one coming out, and we're already talking about another one. These people are killing them, like shooting their own damn brand in the foot.
Yeah.
The same with the overhype of 4K 60 locked on every fucking game.
God,
I'm telling people that you should, because you're gonna make everybody look like a fucking idiot, because it's about perspective. I mean, yeah, that's the reason why the Xbox has
Oh dear God, Halo
has such a bad perspective. YouTube community. It's because of all the overhype.
Halo. The thing is that, yeah, I would expect channels to talk about the Xbox One X. Obviously, it's a new console coming out, but that's all they've been talking about on their channels since it was announced at E3 last year. Like, they have not even brought up the fact of the S and how good the S is. They don't even talk about really what makes Xbox an actual good brand. All they keep talking about is these hardwares and what makes it, how come this Xbox One X is more powerful than what the PlayStation has. These channels don't even, if you watch an Xbox channel, it doesn't make a layman go out and want to buy an Xbox. Like, it just doesn't.
It was,
like,
it was exactly what I was telling them about, like how, the fucking, just because the Xbox is coming out and it's a new piece of hardware doesn't mean everybody's going to go out and buy it. I mean, people are going to look in, they're going to be like, well, why do I want to buy this $500 console when I could buy the same fucking console and play the same games for like $299, $199?
Exactly. Well, I mean, like the X and like anybody thinking the X is going to save Xbox or like make them catch up to PlayStation is like they're really not. They really don't seem to think like they have this like logic thing that is broken in their brain, because no casual or no like small consumer is ever going to spend $500 to play a game that they can play on a $250 system. They're just not going to.
That's exactly what I was saying on next.
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing about the same thing. Pro versus PlayStation 4. I mean, like nobody, like barely one in 5 people buy a Pro, and that's that's a lot. But that's still not. And in the grand scheme of things, 1 in 5 Pros out of all the PlayStation 4s bought really ain't that big of a deal, because more people are going to go in and pay $250 to play Call of Duty or get Call of Duty as a bundled on the Slim, rather than spending $300 and then happen to spend another $60 on Call of Duty. It's just not. I mean, or $400. Excuse me. I mean, it's just not going to happen.
And that's what I was saying. I was like, so if I'm just buying me a console, why would I spend $500 on this console when I could take another $150 out of that and buy a $200 to $199 console, and then use that other bit of money out of that $500, an Xbox Live and a headset and stuff like that? I mean, that's what a parent is going to look at.
Oh yeah,
this game right here has better graphics. No, they're not thinking about that.
No, man. Well, they're going to look at your kid going
bang for their buck.
They're going to look at their kid and slap him and go, I don't give a fuck about graphics. As long as you get to play the game, you should just be happy I'm buying you this.
Yeah, and that's the audience that a lot of these Xbox guys have to understand. Control majority of the gaming market.
Yeah, and Halo, God, you either are a terrible troll or just a stupid idiot. One of the two. I'm just gonna go a terrible troll at this time, but I'm not talking about the PS5. I'm not having channel like my whole channel to talking about this new PS5 that's supposed to be coming out that is some imaginary thing. I didn't even talk about the PS4 Pro. The thing is, though, is that there's a difference between me mentioning a news article that came out about the PS5 and dedicating every single one of my videos to talking about a console that was announced a year ago so talking about one console that has not even launched yet, solely on every fucking video from a year ago to now that still hasn't even launched yet, is a whole lot different than me saying, well, there's a news article that said the PS5 and this is that. And then moving on. There's a huge difference.
You don't see him discussing a fucking game console for 14 months straight and not know any of the actual real world details of the console.
I wouldn't even discuss it for even a month straight, even if I did know the facts about the console, because it has nothing. The gaming to me has nothing to do with the hardware. It has everything to do with the games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like it's like me talking about driving. Like if I'm a driver, I'm going to talk about cars because those things really matter. I'm not going to talk about like which higher octane is a cheaper price in which location, because like I'm not focusing on all these other different things. I'm actually focused on which one's a nice car, which one am I going to be liking no matter what, because I'll spend whatever it takes to fill it up if I get the car that I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't. Anybody's just talking hardware over hardware. It gets old because it moves people away from it. And I really think that Xbox not having this thing available for pre-order by now, I'm not saying it's delayed, but it's really going to affect the initial overall sales of the Xbox One X.
Yeah, I got a question. Can I like switch one of you guys to being a host?
You'll have to switch to trainer.
No, you gotta have. If I'm not mistaken, you have to like completely leave the stream and then come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think Google has that host switch.
So I can leave call and this will still keep going?
No, I think it's going to end the call because it's on your channel.
Rip.
But I'm not 100% sure because I don't deal with fucking Google like that.
Neither do I.
I don't know. I don't know if, because it said Shaner can actually log in under your thing. I'm not sure if, I'm sure if he like logged in while you were still on, that the live stream would still be.
I think it would switch then, yeah.
I think the live stream would still be around, but like somebody would have to log into your channel to keep the, for sure.
I'm looking at it right now. Let's see.
I would have just stayed on Discord, to be honest.
Well, Discord, it was dropping left and right.
Yeah, that's because this motherfucker's on that poor man internet right now. Get off that fucking. Get off that MVP internet, motherfucker. I told you about that shit.
Can y'all help me out here?
What?
No.
What?
Whenever I was just talking about the PS5 and like what I've read on these articles, the short little segment that I talked about the PS5 and what is supposedly going to be able to do based on the articles that I've read. Is that in any way making me a hypocrite saying that these Xbox channels that are dedicated every single video to a console that's not even out yet?
Rambo, let me solve this real quick. Are you talking about something that fucking, because I'm not looking at the chat, are you talking about something that goddamn dumbass Halo is saying?
Yeah, because it's...
Don't listen to that fucking retarded ass troll, man. He's just fucking with you because he's a stupid ass Xbox troll.
So real quick, yes, Aquarius, that anime is badass. Anybody that hasn't watched it yet, go to Netflix. Watch yourself some Castlevania. It is fucking. So
Castlevania.
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you.
Yeah, that Castlevania is really good.
Is Castlevania based on because I don't know anything about Castlevania, but
is it based
on the actual game?
Yes. Well,
it's based off, if I'm not mistaken, the third game. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's the third game.
So if I played the games, then I'll be able to understand the anime.
Well, if you played the third one, I think it's only based off a specific game.
Well,
It's
still,
based
I mean,
off
you know what I
it's
mean,
based
though,
off
right?
of
I mean,
It's based off of Trevor's story arc when he first
I-
goes into and he meets Alucard, which is in Symphony of the Night. So
okay. Well, I
if
might
you
have to
play
get, I might have to
Symphony
check
of the
it out
Night,
because
you'll
I
know
see a
who
lot of
Alucard
people.
is.
Look, I don't know.
I see a lot of
I don't
people
know what
talking about it
Netflix
online.
is doing.
I have no idea.
Giving these writers a blowjob or something, but they are doing some of the best like work with their fucking shows.
I know.
While you're,
I tell people all the time, even like Netflix's most boring series are actually a hell of a lot better than most of the major networks that exist
I know.
on cable.
Fucking weird as fuck too that they're able to achieve that shit. I mean, because they're starting to make HBO look bad. Because remember back in the day, HBO used to have a lot of good shows. Now this is kind of like they only have one, maybe two that are worth decent.
Would you guys hate me to say I don't actually watch Netflix?
No.
I watch it sometimes, but
I don't care.
Yeah.
If you, I don't.
I don't
some
have
people,
a Netflix account, so
you're good.
That's your.
Yeah, so that's your bad. I mean, if you either
Like
do
that-
or you don't. I don't really
yeah,
give a shit one way or the other.
okay.
You're missing out, not me. That's the way I look
The
at
whole
it.
Yeah, 'cause
season
there's-
is at 4 episodes. I think it is. It's
You
only 4
definitely, you
episodes?
definitely are missing out because there's.
I mean, I
next
don't
season's
really
gonna be-
watch TV hardly at all, honestly. I really don't. Like, my TV is actually
Well, yeah,
YouTube.
Well-
most of your time on Google, but that's besides the point.
Actually, no. Like, half my time is spent either making music, it's going to be now
I caught
drawing
that.
or doing video editing, or just watching videos on YouTube or playing games. Or
Yeah, it's
I'm
been-
listening to videos and either working or sleeping, so. I don't know.
No, I saw a video today and. Oh.
Fuck you, Star. Buy a
Yeah, I
stone
saw
man
that.
of gaming brims.
Or he said 13 reasons why, sponsored by Brimstone's Gaming. That's what we should have named it. That's what we should have named this podcast is 13 Reasons Why.
Right.
Anyway, the video I saw today was by a known X.B.O.X, and he decided, well, you know what? What better way to actually make me feel like or make people take me more serious if I brought in Jay Fonzarelli.
Wait,
We all know
is his
Jay
name-
Fonzarelli. That's the guy
This-
that is his everything according to me.
Wait, hold on. Is his name actually the known X.B.O.X? Is that
No.
his real name?
No.
Like, is that
Every-
like?
No.
whom is this? Whom is this?
Colt
fanboy
Eastwood.
speaking? Oh, that guy.
Oh, I never heard of him.
Good.
That
Okay.
guy.
Okay.
Everyone knows that guy.
So Colt Eastwood decided that he was going to put out a video. Let's compare the Xbox One X to the PS4 Pro. And so they decided to go through, and then all of a sudden, like, they brought in like everything according to me.
But
like,
how can you?
just a minute.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're just comparing like what the specs and shit like that, and the services that each offer. But here was the problem, is that he decided to lump like everybody knows what anybody who owns a PlayStation knows what remote play is. Remote play is where you can use your Vita to play your PS4.
Yeah.
Now they also
Yeah,
have-
Microsoft has somewhat of a similar thing with their, but it's not as grand as the PS4.
right.
Where
I
you
mean,
can use it for different
so you can stream your gameplay remote play. You can stream your gameplay to the PC, or to your any Android device, or to the PS Vita and play your games anywhere. Like it doesn't even have to be on the same network. Microsoft does it to your PC, and I think it has to be on the same network. And I think there's a backdoor workaround where you can make it to where
it has to be on the same network, and you can stream it to a TV or any laptop or computer.
yeah, but it
and
has to
stuff
be on
like
the same
that.
network. That's a big difference. But they decided not to bring that up. That like they had like Jay Fonzarelli, like everything according to me, described like the PlayStation services. But whenever you have somebody that barely ever uses the PlayStation services, describe them. That really doesn't help the thing. But then
Wait,
here's
I
what he
thought-
said.
hold on. Let me ask you a question. I thought Jay Fonzarelli uses PlayStation though.
He does.
I mean,
He has a PlayStation, but he's a PC gamer that uses PlayStation for like exclusives and stuff like that. He's also a PC gamer.
maybe I'm misread because when I've talked to Jay Fonzarelli, he's never quoted himself as a PC gamer ever.
Well, no, I mean he games on everything, but
I mean, he's always quoted himself to me as a Xbox guy. I mean, not an Xbox, PlayStation guy.
No, he's not a. I wouldn't consider him like a PlayStation guy because if you like we've had him on this podcast before, and he was like Brim, you remember everything according to me, right?
Everything.
He's a great guy, but
he has a deep voice. He has a deep voice.
I might have to.
He's got that. He's on K Mega's channel, man. On
yes, but
then I probably know. Yeah, I probably know who he is.
Okay, but I mean, he was trying to describe the PlayStation services, but he barely ever used it. He said SharePlay was basically trying to get somebody to pass a level for you, but that was the only benefit to SharePlay. But SharePlay is to be able, also to be able to have, to where if Brim's unsure about a game, I can let him play some of my game, and let him be able to figure out what the game's like before he decides to buy it. There's other benefits to it.
SharePlay is to only pass a level for someone.
No, that's basically all the only feature. That's how he described SharePlay. That's how he describes SharePlay.
But isn't SharePlay the same as like if I was doing family share with you, where I could access your account at any point in time? Like,
no, that's game share. No, that's game share.
No. But listen to what I'm saying. In the sense, though, I can go log into your account right now, and I could go beat a level for you, and I'm technically still beating the level for you. You're not doing it. Well,
yeah, I mean, I guess you could do it that way, but SharePlay though allows me, if I'm in the middle, if I'm actually playing Crash Bandicoot right now, and I'm and you're at your house, I can press the share button. It'll allow the SharePlay to happen. It'll allow you. I can pick you, and all of a sudden it'll even though I'm not my account details have never been entered into your PlayStation 4. It'll let you play Crash Bandicoot from right where I'm at.
Okay. Think of it as long as you have the game, correct? Because you still have to.
No, you don't have to have the game.
It's like TeamViewer. Think of it like that.
It's basically like a demo, like an hour demo, because it'll last for an hour. Like I can let you play Crash for a full hour.
Right.
But then if you want, I can actually, if I wanted to, let you play the whole entire game, because as soon as that hour is up, I could then turn around and hit share play again, set you back up, and then you'd be right where you were and let you continue to play until you're done.
That sounds like some real fuck shit. Like that sounds like some hardcore casual shit right there. Like, hey, Brim, you know what? I need you to beat all the fucking Battlefield 1 on hardcore for me, man.
That's not what it's intended for.
I know it's not intended for that, but that's what people use it for.
Yeah, I'm sure people I'm sure people will use it for that, but the main thing it's for is so that way you can let your friend test out a game if he's unsure about it.
Well,
hey Jay, let me go into your Xbox and look up a bunch of gay porn and just keep it on autoplay.
You know what? I'm down for that, bro. I'm down for that. I'll even admit that it was me.
But the interesting part is they didn't bring up cross-buy. Where you actually get where you buy a game on PS4 or PlayStation 3 or even PlayStation Vita, and you get the copy sometimes on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation Vita. You get a copy across whatever platform it's on.
Well, both of them have a form of cross-buy, though. I mean,
no, they don't.
Microsoft has to play anywhere, which is a similar form of cross-buy. I mean, if you want to be technical.
Well,
and then Sony has a form of cross-buy.
I guess if you want to look at that as being a form of cross-buy, then yes, you're right. Okay.
I mean, it is. Anyway, though. I mean, you can buy it for any Windows device.
Let's just not get into the technicality of this. I'm just trying to get to the point. Every single thing doesn't have to be a technicality.
Fight.
What I'm saying is that when they left that part out of the PlayStation side, but whenever they started talking about the PlayStation Plus games, like PlayStation Plus versus Games of Gold, they said, here's the value of PlayStation Plus, and they said, you get 72 games a year because you get 6 games across, the whole thing. But then Colt decided, well, after Jay left, or everything according to me, he decided to then rechange the idea, since you only get 2 PlayStation 4 titles, that you only get 24 games per year on PlayStation 4, but that's not every single month. I'm at least getting 3, if not 4, because I'm getting cross-buy titles with PlayStation Vita or PlayStation 3 that are also on PS4.
Wait, that makes no sense. I mean, because technically you are getting 6 games, regardless if it's only just for the fucking PlayStation 4 or not.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
but I mean, he tried to just to say that,
So
well, it doesn't count. Yeah, he decided to say it, but then he even went further. Now, this is the most retarded fucking thing I've ever heard. He listed the number of games based off of Wikipedia, like on for each console, and like PlayStation had 1,500 and some games, and Xbox had, I think, like 1,100 and some games, maybe 1,200 and some games. But here's where the dumbass happened, is that he actually said that if you add in all the backwards compatible 360 titles, there's actually 1,800 games on the Xbox One. I'm like going, no, there's not.
God.
You can't count 360 titles.
Wait, are you fucking kidding me?
No, that's exactly what he did.
And this is why I say the Xbox community, this is like when they sit there and argue and say, oh, the Xbox guys don't want to be a part of the YouTube community, yada, 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 I had to deal with this shit for so many years. Yeah, because you put yourself in that fucking hole. There's a reason why no one wants to be like an open Xbox guy, is because they don't want to be labeled as a fucking
embarrassing.
dumbass.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Yeah,
You don't want to be labeled as a fucking idiot, because all the bigger Xbox channels are fucking idiots.
The perception is everything. Well, I wouldn't say all the bigger Xbox channels.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Some that
the majority. Yeah. I'm not saying a hashtag not all.
Yeah. But I mean, the majority of them, fucking supersede the ones that are good. And that's the problem that you have. And that's the reason why people don't want to label themselves as
very
Xbox
much so.
guy.
That's the reason why I really enjoy Rand's channel. But it's very hard to find anybody that's out there that actually is an Xbox guy, a sold Xbox guy or whatever, that actually doesn't try to spread misinformation or just isn't a plain fucking idiot.
Well, yeah. And that's the reason why I'm glad like TKB and his wife got away from a lot of them guys, is because like they do good work, but they had that stigma of being associated with people that are being fucking dumbasses.
But they for some reason though, but like I tried to figure out, because he said since they were playable on Xbox One, so I was thinking, well, PlayStation Now games are playable on the PS4. So wouldn't you? I mean, if you were going to use that logic, wouldn't you have to use the 450 plus PS3 games that you can play on the PS4 through PS Now?
But they're not going to do that. It's always about moving the goalposts to.
Yeah, like using the logic, like I just like I don't even understand the logic at all by like trying to say that Xbox 360 games are Xbox One games, because they're not. But it's just like these fanboy channels that try to do that. Like nobody, like there's no reason why you have to put up there. Let's compare the Xbox One X to the PS4 Pro. Everybody knows that the Xbox One X is more powerful than the PS4 Pro.
It's clickbait. It's all about clickbait. Yeah. It's getting out a rise to people like you and people that actually think with critical thinking, and that's exactly what it's for.
I'm just like, I just wish these channels. I wish these channels would focus on a fucking game. We were looking today, like on Titanfall Princess podcast, and Brim. Brim and Shaner. Is Shaner still in here? Because I can't see.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Okay, this goes back to what we were talking about. Is that we were looking today, and if you go back to Sunset Overdrive, and if you go back to like we're talking about way back to Sunset Overdrive, or if you go to Dead Rising 4, that just came out last year. There is more people that have purchased a higher percentage of people that have platinumed. We're not talking about finish the game, but have platinumed Horizon Zero Dawn out of 4 million copies sold. Then has actually even beat episode 2 of Dead Rising 4, or that has actually beat, there's like I think 16% of people who own Sunset Overdrive have actually beat the game. And remember, this is a free game with gold. These people aren't beating the games. Why? So that's the reason why I guess these channels don't talk about games, is because, or what makes these games great and stuff like that, because they don't fucking play them.
That also comes to the fact that a lot of the people that I'm going to be honest, a lot of people that do play Xbox don't really play like hardcore like they claim they do. I was getting in an argument with T Reaper because T Reaper says he plays games all the time, and I'm like, yeah, you play games when they first come out, you beat them, and then you put them away. But like right now, what are you doing? 90% of the time, you're sitting on fucking media player. or you're sitting on Netflix or something like that, and I've been getting on to you about that because I hear you claim that everybody else does it, but when I see you do it, it's different. You know?
Yeah, it's so frustrating because I mean, like, I'd rather go to like these Xbox channels and be able to say, okay, I want to go here and be able to see like these. Like, I love how Rand spotlights in these indie games that are on Xbox that I can't get on PlayStation yet because I like indie games too. But Rand actually like spotlights spotlights games that are actually on the Xbox. So he actually makes me say, "Oh man, this is something I should be able to buy. I should buy on Xbox. This is something that I want to turn my Xbox on and play. Or I want to do something." These other channels, like the majority of these Xbox channels, all they're doing is talking fucking specs, and that's all they've been doing since 2013.
Yeah, it's been 16 months of nothing but specs. That's all it has.
Well, that and then or from 2013 up until the Xbox One X was actually announced, it was all about how 720p is no different than 1080p. It was never about games. It was always about how they were damage controlling the resolution difference.
Well, that's what it was on the last when I was on Next Gen's cast. The last cast it was all about resolution. They kept bringing up, oh well, PlayStation had the power.
It's so fucking frustrating, man. It's like
about the power narrative anymore, man. People want something to play, like the whole. Okay, I get resolution matters to an extent, but if a game doesn't play well and it's not a good fucking game, then I don't give a fuck how well the game looks at the end of the day.
Man. See you later, dude.
All right. Just like I try to tell somebody, just like I tried to tell somebody a while back, is that the difference, the reason why 720p or 900p and 1080p was a big deal back then is because those were launch consoles, and one was asking $100 more for less than the other.
And gave
now, I said, and plus, if you compare 720p or 900p to 1080p, you'll see a bigger difference than if you compare 1800p to 2160p, because 1800p and 2160p are both clear. They're both crystal clear. Whenever you go to 720p versus 1080p, one's blurry, one's not. So there's an easier time to tell the difference between the two.
Yeah.
So the resolution talk just needs to go, like, stop talking about resolution and tell me about what games I should buy on the Xbox. What makes the Xbox great?
It's not just about resolution. It's about making sure that we get the right games and have great narrative stories and have an actual game that performs well to what we want. The standard of gaming now has been belittled in a lot of ways because, like, it's all about graphics. It's all about these cookie cutter games. And like, when have you actually seen a really good high end narrative game besides The Witcher 3? I mean, you don't get a lot of them anymore.
You get them if you get them, you get more of them on the PlayStation than you do the Xbox. And it's kind of frustrating. Like Gears, everybody tried to tell me Gears has always been about the multiplayer only. I was like, bullshit. I said, because when Gears started, to me, Gears had a pretty damn good campaign and a damn good multiplayer, as far as like what everybody else thought.
All right, Gears 1, because I was there launch day for Gears 1. Gears 1, great game, great story, everything. Like, everybody remembers ROM. And then fucking the campaign was excellent. Granted, I hated the fucking multiplayer because I hate the multiplayer. The rolling shotgun I could never get. Like, even now, I still can't get the whole rolling.
Me too. I hate the mechanics for multiplayer. So,
but then Gears 2 came out, and Gears 2 brung in to horde mode. Like, if I'm not mistaken, it was the first thing that brung in horde mode within the last gen consoles next to War at War for Treyarch. And like, that's what made like horde mode one of these big markets as of time in the console gaming market.
Right, but the campaign of Gears 2 was still pretty damn good.
The campaign of Gears 2 was amazing. And then the third one came around, and even the third one, it improved on every fucking aspect and made it even a better game. The DLC, Gears 3. Gears 3. The DLC for Gears 3, the expansion, I can't remember the name of it, with telling Rom's story, was fucking excellent. And like, then Gears 4 came around. Gears 4 had a good campaign. There were some things I didn't like. Like, I don't like the DVs. I think the DVs are fucking stupid. I thought it was a very bland narrative plot line.
I thought it was a very boring narrative, because I thought if they would have told the narrative from Katie's standpoint, like if Katie would have been the prime character.
Well, no, they wanted to go with JD. Katie,
I know I know why they wanted to go with JD, because JD was actually, a Phoenix, so therefore it became more of a.
It's more about what's going to happen with Katie's storyline and the reason why they're
right. But what I'm saying is that like they still try to focus on Katie's storyline through JD's eyes, and it caused.
You know why they're focusing on Katie's storyline, right?
I don't get into the lore behind Gears.
Okay.
Like I just play the fucking games.
Well, no, it's very simple. It was pretty much explained to you in the actual game. Katie's grandma was the Locust Queen. The Locust Queen has a certain geno where she can actually control the Locust. The Swarm are just an evolved version of the Locust. So what the Swarm did was they were capturing people to bring out new, to make new Locusts.
Right.
And they also were looking for the Queen, and that's why they kidnapped Katie's mom. Then Katie's mom didn't have this particular, she didn't have the particular geno. So now what's going to happen, which Katie does. So now what's going to happen is in the next game, you're probably going to see them take over Katie, and Katie is the loving interest for JD. So it's gonna gravitate towards JD and Katie and have that divide. That's what it's about.
But even, I mean, okay, so Gears 4 is basically setting up Gears 5. But the thing is, though, the Gears 4 campaign is that, to me, they failed on it because instead of being able to tell me a continuous story and keep me interested, they stopped like 3 times midway or in certain points and go, okay, we're gonna play Horde mode now, for no fucking reason. Like they're
and they did that in Gears 3 also. They put them parts into Gears 3. That same shit.
It didn't seem like, to me on Gears 3, it didn't seem like as intrusive to the story as it did in Gears 4. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember Gears 3 forever.
There were like, I want to say a good 4 or 5 chapters in Gears 3, especially the first one where they presented.
But was it as intrusive?
Like yeah, it was intrusive. It was intrusive because I remember.
Okay, because I can't remember Gears 3 completely, but I just can't remember.
It was more intrusive in Judgment than it was Gears 3, but
I don't even talk about Judgment because Judgment was a shit game, but it looked good, but it's a shit game.
Like it was even in the first level in Gears 3 when they near the end when they were going out the Silverback and they were trying to show you how Horde mode basically was working.
Oh, okay. It's been a long time since I played that one, but it just like threw me off in Gears 4 because the story wasn't like to me. I guess maybe the story in 3 was good enough.
They only did that like twice in Gears 4. I mean,
they did it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like it was mainly in like twice in 2 main sections that it was really prevalent into the actual game.
Well, maybe, but the thing is though is like the Gears 3 maybe I think is what happened is that they had such a compelling story.
Well, yeah,
it made it seem like okay, well I can suffer through this Horde mode to get to the next part, but in Gears 4, the story was so
in Gears 3 it was also a lot longer. Like if you go look at the campaign levels, they were definitely a lot longer than
like
Gears
that.
4.
It was so depressed. Like I was kind of like because everybody hyped Gears 4, and I guess they're hyping it solely based on multiplayer. Because
I'll be honest,
in the scheme of things, as far as Gears go, Gears 4 is to me a very lacking game as far as campaign goes.
See, I like Gears 4. I don't play the multiplayer. I play the campaign, and I play the fucking what's it called? The Horde mode. And I love the Horde mode. I think it's probably by far one of the best Horde modes out of the Gears series, due to the fact that they added a lot more features, like the whole class system and everything. And like how they actually work and how you have to have certain classes to actually proceed into the higher levels, in the game, especially if you're playing like on Insane or Inconceivable. You need like certain classes, you need certain cards, you need to max out your characters, like you need a good team. And that's what I love about Gears 4's Horde mode, is it takes a lot of communication. Now Gears 3, it was the same way, but there was a lot of restrictions with Gears 3. Like the whole tower defense thing, you could only build certain objectives in certain areas that the game limited you to, and they don't do that in 4.
I guess I don't know. To me, it just seemed like that the Gears 4 just bored me. Like
I think if you actually played with people and you had like
possibly, but I shouldn't have to play a campaign co-op in order to make it fun.
Well, no. I'm not talking about the campaign. I'm talking about the actual like multiplayer and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't ever fuck with Gears multiplayer.
Always gonna be like No, I'm talking about like horde mode. If you actually come play with me and my crew, you'll see what I'm talking about.
I'll play with you. If I don't have anybody to play horde mode with, but I'm not playing versus for shit because
no, we don't play versus. We're
I can't.
strictly mainly horde. Like we'll run you through it horde on insane or inconceivable if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that. I mean, that sounds like fun to be able to do that. But I don't have really too many people on Xbox to be able to play the multiplayer games with, and I sure as fuck. I mean, I play Halo. I'd play Halo multiplayer before I'd play Gears multiplayer, like versus part, because of the fact that the mechanics in Gears makes me they're very clunky.
Well, like that's because that's how the characters are supposed to be. They're supposed to be these big.
Yeah, I get that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's the reason why I don't play it. I'm not saying that there should be something different. I'm just saying that's the reason why I don't play it, is because the controls are so clunky, and I can't. It's not a smooth gameplay to me, like experience like Halo or COD or Battlefield, where it's to me it's a lot easier. Like you can't fucking jump in Gears in 2017.
Well, but that's the whole point.
I get it.
Like the game.
I know. I'm just saying that this is like one of my complaints about it. I'm not trying to say to change the damn thing because of me. I'm just saying that this is my complaints about it.
Well, yeah, I understand the complaint, but like I also it comes back down to the whole thing with like gaming. So in a lot of ways is an art form, and a lot of these developers look at their games as a form of art in some aspects besides just a business. So like they want their games to have a particular thing that stands out, and like with Gears, it's about the clunkiness of the characters and how like the characters are very restricted to, and the reason, and they stated this, the reason why they don't jump is due to the fact of the armor that they wear and stuff like that. They feel like the jumping would intrude on the actual performance of the gameplay and the lore, because like they're running around with 80-90 pound fucking things of armor on them, and you're expecting them to jump through like stuff.
Explain to me this, like the guy in the very beginning of Gears 4, like the guy that was sitting in the wheelchair when they were up on the stage, he was really skinny. Like his top was like a normal person. But whenever you look at Marcus, whenever he didn't even have his gear on, like it's almost like he forgot leg day.
Well, yeah, that's how Marcus has always been, though. Like go back and look at Marcus on any of the actual Gears.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why.
But that's because that man that you're talking about, I can't remember his name, but he's been in every Gears. It starts with an H, and he's like 80 in that scene. He's like 80.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. All right, so if I don't stop this now, this is gonna just fucking keep.
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I'm sorry.
No. You're good. You're okay.
Yeah.
So
go. Come on, Grim. You know how me and Rambo get, man.
I know.
Till like 6 in the morning.
Yeah. So I gotta get up early in the morning, so I do gotta get going. I just want to say thank you to the guys that made it. Sorry, Go-Get, I didn't see your message until like literally just moments ago. But hopefully next time we'll get you in and we'll be able to get a good conversation going. Hopefully the next podcast won't be the yelling mess that it turned into. But you know what? Yeah. Hopefully we can all learn. Simo. So Simo, if Rambo's not here, I'll be more than likely having you on. But if if Simo's not here, Rambo will be here.
Yeah, but I mean, to be completely honest with you, like I would rather talk about like something that I've been doing on PC gaming for a little bit. And
yeah, I mean, really he can always come on and talk about something like other than trying to like
just no politics.
Yeah, like that, those type of things. If we're just talking like games back and forth, like I don't think me and him will ever like disagree like that, like to where we'll argue and stuff like that. So I mean, he can come on and do that. We just wanted to come on and like discuss any like political topic or something like that.
That sounds good. But seriously though,
politics.
I do. Sorry about cutting it, but I do got to get going. It's coming up on almost midnight, and I have to be up in like 6 or 7 hours. So I do got to get going. Huh? Oh yeah. So the promotion.
What is this? What is going on?
Okay. So I'm going to be working with a bunch of specialists in appliances now. So I'm going to be taking care of customers over there, selling fridges and shit. I'm no longer going to be dealing with all of the business side over on at the commercial desk. So that all changed for me just this past week. They offered it to me. They're like, hey man, you've been with the company for a long time. Do you want to try something new? And I said, well, if it pays more, it gives me a little bit more hours. Yeah. So like my hours are going to be changing from the closing shifts, where this is why I chose this time, was because it was perfect. Well, now I'm going to go to mornings to noon. So my ass is going to be up the crack of dawn going to work all the time versus coming home at 9. I'll be coming home at like around like 3 or 4. So the times are going to be improved as far as the podcast goes. There's going to be a lot more people being able to come into this. I have to, we actually, you and me, Rambo, actually, and Shaner have to get together with Rags and discuss the times. I mean, we sort of talked about it, but like Rags kind of dropped it. He never really pushed anything. He just kind of like, okay, sure, and then left. So
yeah, let me get this correct, Brim. You're actually going to have reasonable fucking times on the goddamn podcast where it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning when you're doing
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god, the world is coming to an end. So I need to get my ticket.
So yeah, new things are coming. We're coming up. We're slowly encroaching on the eve of the new channel launch. I still don't have any art done because we only had a few people resubmit their old submissions, and then like all the people that submitted to me on Discord all deleted their accounts. So like all that conversation is gone. I couldn't re-download anything. So I tried to reach out to some of these people. They never answered me back. So I was like, oh, well, okay. Well, so if you guys know anybody that does commissions or something, I'd be willing to pay some money to get the new channel art done for the Game Talk podcast. And possibly even, huh?
Have you tried talking to Lord Vega?
Who's Lord Vega? I can't remember who that is.
I'll get you a link to his Twitter.
All right.
He actually does fucking good work.
Okay, so if you guys know of anybody that does commissions for YouTube banners and they actually do really good work, they don't just fucking rip people off and go to those random site generator bullshits, send them my way and I'll try to get in contact with them and see if they want to make some money. But I do got to get going. Thank you guys for showing up. Simo, Jay, you guys are always welcome on here. Thank you guys for so much for coming on. But I'm going to go up out of here. Rambo, is there anything you want to go say before we go?
No, I'm trying to get my channel to work, like get my mixer set up, but I'm trying to figure out like the bot for it and also how to get like the donation set up to it, like the link so that way people can click for donations. So once I've been working on that, trying my best to get it figured out. If Jay or somebody like that wants to help me,
I was gonna actually hit up Brimstone and Shader about that because they know more about that than I do. I was gonna ask them the same thing
because I want to be able to do donations, but I also want to have like a bot to where people can play a game or something like that, you know, to where like bet their little currency that I give them or whatever.
Let me hit up Cat and he can get you a good bot because he's been on Mixer since as long as Shader and them have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As
far as like the artwork and stuff like that, I'd have to hit up Brim because that's the person I was going to ask about.
Oh, all right, Meme Chan, since you're asking for it, I'm going to do this for Meme Chan. Hey, anybody that knows Meme Chan, he is also on Twitch. Go troll his channel for every single time he logs in and plays the game. Just shit post his entire thread. There you go. There you go, Meme Chan. There's your
I would appreciate you if y'all looked at my YouTube channel and looked at that Halo discussion that I did on Wednesday. That'd be really nice.
Yeah, I checked it out.
Hey,
all right,
dude, my forerunner.
But as soon as I get that done, then I'm gonna start.
You, Brim.
Well, then I'm trying to get that done so that way I can actually have do some streaming on there too as well, because I like streaming on YouTube isn't as good as streaming on like Mixer. So
right. Yeah, the quality's a little bit better on Mixer.
And I want to separate my streams from my videos, if you know what I mean.
I agree. Yeah,
you should be able to make your Mixer channel easily. I mean, as long as you have a Microsoft account.
Yeah, I got the Mixer channel. I just need to be able to set up all the different things, like because I don't want to just do Xbox games. I want to be able to play my PlayStation games there.
Yeah, you can.
So, yeah, I know I can, but what I need to do is I want to be able to set up like, because I on my Twitch channel I already have like a tab where people can click for donations and stuff, but I want to be able to have that for my Mixer so that way in case people decide to donate or whatever they can.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I would hit up Brimstone or Shaner because they know more about Mixer.
Yeah, we'll get you set up.
I was going to hit up.
Yeah, we'll get you guys set up on Mixer so that way you guys can start to stream, and then we'll all be able to do our co-streams together.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because they just announced that they're going to do the cross co. So if you're on PC and I'm on Xbox, I can co-stream with you regardless of what platform you're on.
Nice.
It's already there today, bro.
Yeah.
Because I was doing it today with something.
Oh, okay, cool. That's even better. Yeah, because just a few weeks ago you couldn't do it, so that's cool that they did it.
Yeah, they came out with the update. I think it was Tuesday when they came out with the Xbox update. It also comes out with that too, where you can do co-streaming. between both PC and Xbox.
Oh, even better. Yeah, even better. So we'll get something set up for our streams. But everybody is always going to be welcome to go to and check out everybody's Mixer. Usually we all use the same names on Mixer, so we're really easy to find.
Oh yeah, same exact name on mine.
And since I'm going to be working earlier hours, I'll be able to do some more nightly streams with these guys. So that way it's not going to be 4 or 5 in the morning for a podcast anymore. So that's going to help.
That I cannot wait for.
It's Armored Anal, just to let y'all know.
Is it really?
No, I'm fucking with you.
I was like going, wow, man.
Fucking with you, man.
Like you're really embracing, like you're really embracing this whole gay centuries thing.
Hey, Simo, is there anything that you want to, like, before I cut this out, you want to tell anybody if you have your channel up yet or anything, or?
Well, I mean, I've been having my channel up for ages. I can put it in the freaking chat if you want to do anything with. If you want to check it out.
Yeah, go for it.
But like right now, all I'm doing is actually just, I guess, preparing for stuff because I'm not really going to do anything with my channel officially in terms of like resuming stuff until probably like October, November time. I might make a few videos here and there just because, you know, I want to keep it active. But overall, I'm not going to do much because I really just want to like improve on my music, make some montages, and work on artwork and stuff like that. Because I actually got a drawing tablet for myself.
Looks like a Huon tablet at that.
Yeah, it's mono price, but yeah, still. Oh, I'm just doing a whole bunch of preparing this right now, so yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
How do we set up for the team streaming though? That's what I want to know.
It's something we'll go over when I can come in to if you want, like, since I'm gonna be home early tomorrow, I'll just get on early and then we can go over some stuff tomorrow.
That would be awesome.
You gonna get on Xbox and talk to us all at one time? I understand.
I can get on Discord and talk to us all.
I can actually talk to you on Xbox on my PC if they don't limit my fucking bandwidth like they have been.
Look at that. He's doing things. That's
right.
See,
That's right.
I raise you the bar.
There you go.
Where's my music channel?
So everybody that's in the stream watching still to this point, thank you guys for sticking around. And I'm going to leave it off with the fact that Simo became the victim tonight. He took it in the ass pretty good. Good sport, as always.
He became the new Jay Centuries, man. He used to take it into the booty.
I don't know about that, but okay.